So, first order of business before we start the recording, everyone take a moment to make fun of Loki for delaying this for 2 weeks.
Sorry.
You have a life and a career.
Career job.
Right. Yeah, work's totally kicking my ass lately. But glad I was finally get enough of breather to get back in the game because I've been missing it quite a bit.
Oh, don't try to elicit pity.
You do what the man says.
See, Gumbo, he also has crunch.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm hearing is Nolgrim's answer is fame. Loki's answer is money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, despite what people say, there's nothing in the world that can't be improved with money.
This is true.
And it's a sad reality.
I think the
Anyway,
sad
recording time.
stories of the world are about famous poor people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like those stories that they try to spin like a feel-good articles that make you realize how dystopian everything is, where it's all like, teacher's daughter gets cancer, so all the other teachers pool their sick leave so he can be with her. I'm like, and everyone's like, that's sweet. I'm like, oh my god, the school didn't give him time off?
Right.
Or paid time off?
Yeah.
Or, student found out about all this, lunch debt that his fellow classmates had, so he raised money to support them and get them out of debt.
Mm-hmm.
Students start a GoFundMe campaign for their cancer-ridden teacher. And, like, the fact that you have to start a GoFundMe page so a teacher can fucking get life-saving, procedures done.
Anyway,
this is sad, and I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
I mean, plus, the natural order of things is they're supposed to cook meth.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's supposed to play out.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a home ec or a chemistry teacher. I
Okay.
teach English. What can I do?
Erotic fiction.
I mean, you say that, but that probably sells pretty well on the internet.
I'm sure it does.
People still
So
read?
Hope, fame, welfare.
Yeah, okay, so question for this week. What do you value more? Wealth, fame, or influence?
We all already answered except for Cope, so.
No,
haven't answered.
Freya and Taskell didn't say anything.
Oh.
I'm thinking about it. I think, it was what, wealth, fame, and influence?
Influence, yeah.
Influence, fame, those are both great things to have, but without wealth, you can't do nothing with none of it.
All right.
Well, you just spend it away.
Are you going to finish that sentence?
Yeah,
So
fame just gets you attention, but influence gets you what you need. He's going to go with influence.
Influence denotes a certain amount of respect. So, if not for the person, then for what you can do. Should they not offer sufficient respect?
All right, so Taskell wants to be a mafia boss.
You say that like it's shocking.
It's not.
Mafia boss. He wants to be the head of a church, man.
Yeah, what did I say?
Different.
All right, so I think that's everyone answered.
All right, so I feel like people might want to recap from last time.
That'd be helpful.
We found ourselves mysteriously on a boat after being attacked by cave pirates, who took exception to our existence. Took us aboard after some fuckery. We were put in cages like birds. A couple of us met Jigglis. Me and I think it was Taskell were brought before the captain. Who questioned us. We tried to bargain, but we had nothing to bargain with. He punched Ivy's invisible body, throwing her on the table to be like, "This is what I can do, fuckers." Had us fight a acid whale, and then we arrived at port to be sold as slaves. Jiggles managed to buy us, but came to realize he had no fucking money, and very ineffectively sold one of our salt crystals
Mhm.
to use the money towards getting our freedom. Which I then told him, "Oh yeah, I had emeralds the entire time."
You
Yes.
salty bastards. He got your freedom from slavery, and you're like, oh my god, he used too much of our money.
Well, ransom, not slavery so much.
I mean, depending on who bought us.
Yeah, that's fair, but it's like slavery implies that like they like have to house you and stuff like that. This is more just like buying yourself back.
I mean, I'm sure that cultist just wanted our souls. I mean, what do they need the bodies for?
Didn't want your soul, just wanted Freya's soul.
So if I remember, we had all of our items except for our money.
What was in the chest. It's not all your money. Any like personal funds that you had on your person are still there. It's just what was in the chest, which I can read out to you because I made a copy of it.
Yeah, it was like the 150 gold of rubies, 750 drow coin, the silver pieces, the gold and platinum pieces.
Yeah. This is correct.
So I think we probably just delete those from our sheet.
Yep. I made a copy of them in case you ever get it back.
Oh, I think we're losing Michael.
Hear me all right?
Yep.
All right, I just need to get closer to the mic.
I'll just move you guys over to the Dinport map.
Yeah, we got my mech, so it's all good.
Yep. And on all your magic items and weapons, which were probably worth more than all that gold that you acquired. So where we last left off.
I mean, all my magic items are infused.
So where we...
If they took them, then they're not going to be magical for much longer.
This is true. All right. So, music. So where we last left off, if I remember correctly, Jiggles, you were going to be taking them to a tavern to wet their whistle after the whole experience. Was that not the plan?
I think so.
All right. You guys are currently, because you guys should be able to see the map of Dinport now. This is from the side here. You guys are currently here in the Overmarket. Jiggles, you know a small out-of-the-way tavern here on the Overmarket. Not the nicest place, but you can get a pint of grog for a single copper piece, and people generally like to keep to themselves.
And that sounds like a good place for you guys to get your feet wet, so to speak, here in Dinport.
Give us a chance to catch our bearings, and we can make a plan. What we're going to do now.
All right. So Jiggles leads the way as you weave through the various tents and stalls of the Overmarket. This is easily the most cosmopolitan place you've been to in the Underdark so far. There's various colored flames and lights of the different tents as people hawk strange products. Sometimes it just looks like random junk. Sometimes there might be a few actual interesting items mixed in. There's often ropes and like rigging over the top of the tent in which you see kobolds and goblins scurrying across. You imagine pickpocketing and crime is quite common here. Of course, it's not called crime here. It's just called life. If I remember correctly, Nolgrim already gave the contents of his coin purse to Fergus because he didn't trust himself not to have it swiped almost immediately.
And when we were out of sight of prying eyes, I had put a lot of the stuff, like a lot of our like gems and stuff that we had on us, in the hat of storage, and I'm wearing the hat.
As you guys are making through this kind of rickety wooden platform, the picture I drew here makes it look flat, but it's very much like levels of stuff stacked on top of each other. You going up and down and over and across.
Yeah.
You see kind of descending from the darkness above there is a figure roughly maybe like 6 feet tall, and he's in these long robes with a hood up, and he is descending from the sky on what looks like a small stone disc, just barely big enough for one person. As he passes overhead, you can see that this figure is wearing a featureless white mask and lands in front of one of the stalls and apparently starts talking with the merchant there. And all the while through all of this, there is the constant ringing of the central bell tower as the bell is just going nonstop.
I'd probably ask Jigglypuff, do you know anything why that bell tower keeps going off incessantly?
Well, absolutely. That's the bell keeper's doing.
Well, I imagine there's a bell person that does it, but why do they keep doing it?
If they didn't do it, we'd all be dead.
That just opens up more questions.
Yeah, I was thinking if it was more of a lighthouse thing that keeps away some sort of beastie.
The night gaunts. Thousands of them. Flying all around, up where you can't see. But the noise keeps them away.
The ship, did we hear anything that sounded like noise keeping things away? Like in
I know we had to be really quiet at one point, but
Oh yeah, you can sail. I mean, you can go out there and venture around and sail about, but if you don't know what you're doing and you start yapping when you're in night gaunt territory here in the Gaunt Sea, then, well, that's the end of you.
I wanted to ask more, but it feels like I keep getting more questions that I need to ask from Jigglypuff, so I kind of just clam up at that point.
Fellas, we have plenty of time. There's tons to learn about the Gaunt Sea and all the other seas down here in the Sunless area. So that's why I'm taking you for a drink. It's on me. First one.
Around this time, you guys reach a fairly small, single-story wooden structure. Looks like it's made out of driftwood and a repurposed small boat turned upside down. No windows, but light is coming out from underneath the door. The most well-maintained part of this little tavern is a swinging sign in front that says it's called the Whale Well. And there's a picture of like a whale swimming through a wheel, like a wagon wheel. So it's a pun on wheel well.
All right, let's go inside and have a drink.
You guys enter inside. There's only a few tables. The only one that is occupied is currently being occupied by a Derogar, a kobold, and a drow, who are currently
all the things that dwarves love.
Yep. Who are currently hunched over their drinks in conversation. You get like that thing where it's like someone enters, so there's like a quick glance where they like clock that you enter, but then they immediately return to their own conversation. Oh no. Who's calling?
I imagine we're all gonna take a seat at one of these empty tables.
Don't worry, the barkeep will answer that.
I feel like this place is nothing but shaded corners.
I mean, there's only a few little wax candles on the bar that light it. Behind the bar, Jigglypuff, you would know the barkeep as Fritz. You're not certain what he is. He might have been a deep gnome or Derogar, but now he's mostly just eye patch, peg legs, prosthetic jaw, and scar tissues. He is currently wiping down the counter, and you see a worn spot because he just wipes the one place. Behind him, there is a hanging sign written in Undercommon that has the only 3 items that they sell here. For 1 copper, it's drink. For 5 copper, it's urchin milk. And for 3 copper, it's stew.
Boy there, Fritz, we'll have a round of drink.
He speaks such thick piratey gibberish, even you don't know what he says, but he immediately starts pulling out mugs that are mostly clean and begins filling them with what counts as alcohol here. So if you're buying for the entire Well, geez, I guess the entire ensemble, that would be including your cohorts. So probably everyone.
I imagine Miku doesn't need much.
Yeah,
though.
everyone except for Miku.
I mean, I guess he can dip his fingers in there.
I just turned to Iago. Don't worry. That time I didn't understand it either.
Okay. I wasn't going to say anything because I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that does make me feel a little bit better.
Out of curiosity, does Jiggles actually speak Common or just Undercommon?
He speaks a couple languages, including Undercommon, but no, he does not speak Common.
Gotcha. So the
Well,
entire
he
time
does
he's
not-
talking, you
he
cannot
does not
communicate
speak-
with Iago.
Yeah, he does not speak Dwarf. So if y'all start speaking Dwarf, he doesn't know what you're saying.
So, as we all get situated, I guess Freya will say, hate to get right down to business, but we're going to need a bigger boat.
I mean, a bigger boat implies we have people to man said bigger boat. I don't think we are going to find people that are going to join us on our quest with a big boat.
Looks around all the people to have joined us on our quest.
This is fair, but the amount of people we need to man a bigger boat, I think, is much more than this. This is over the course of a year. I don't think we want to wait here for count how many people we have and how many people we theoretically need. Because I imagine I have some general knowledge of how many people a boat would need.
Yeah,
Being,
generally.
from a shoreline kind of place. I don't think we have like 5 or 6 years to gather and crew.
Roughly 30 people is the average.
It depends on how large the ship you're going to get. Depends on also where you're going to be heading as to how big a ship you need. And then you're going to want crew enough to keep it going, 2 shifts every cycle. That way you don't ever have to stop, because stopping in these waters is not good.
We have a ship that can hold about 15, so that's already a decent size.
Well, that's a small boat. I wouldn't really
Yes,
call that a
but-
ship, but
It's a small.
I mean-
it's a medium-sized boat. I would say at least that. Not a ship by any means, but
little boat goes in the sunless sea. You go in the boat. There are big things out there. Make a little boat like that go away in a heartbeat.
man, I wish we had our sub.
So how many people
What's
do we have here? I forget with all the cohorts.
I believe it is
8.
8 total, including Jiggles.
So we got 8 people here. That could be 8 operating members, but I don't feel like we're
No.
getting here on this dinky little thing.
That's no way to travel. You're going to need at least 30 crew. Now, they don't have to be any kind of knowledgeable folk. I'm a good navigator or good pilot of a ship. I'd sign on with you fellas depending on where you're going. I heard a good story from the young one over there, but you're going to need more than that. You're going to need help finding a boat. You're going to have to pay for that boat. And then you're going to need to convince a crew to come with you without pay, because I've already seen you don't have very much up front.
Well, I mean, we had a fair reserve, but things happened.
Of course,
you
there's
would-
always the promise of cash, though I imagine that's not going to be very inspiring to someone who's already.
You don't know
think-
very much about pirates, do you?
I mean, I know a
We tend
fair
to-
bit, but not from the underground ones.
Yeah, down here we
Okay,
tend to go
Jiggles.
out with the promise of future payoff, but to have trust in that future payoff, you've got to trust the captain that you're signing on with.
If we could find a place to set up shop, I could probably make decent coin smithing. But we'd have to be here for a while. I suppose we should tally up how much we have between us.
Seems like a good idea.
I have about 300 and plus in gems.
You'd be holding my 5 silver and 2 salt crystals worth 1,000 gold pieces each.
I'm not sure how I'd bring it up in character and stuff. Maybe it would be something like maybe Task would bring up, but my out of character plan would be to exchange the emeralds I have, so we would have enough diamond to have you be able to cast Revivify once, as well as a restoration once.
Yeah, I feel like you guys have been on this quest for 9 months. There must have been small talk during travel about what would be required for certain spells that.
Yeah, because we have just enough for like my personal possessions. I already have some diamond, but if I exchange the emeralds for an equal amount of diamond, I have just enough for 1 Revivify, which is a good oh fuck moment kind of spell, and then 1 restoration spell, which I think is like 50 gold of diamond dust. So it's something to probably have in our back pocket in case things go really sideways later on. Especially now that our get out of jail free card has been used up.
So if I'm hearing right, we've got 2,343 and a half worth of gold.
Yeah, unless you and Freya have anything.
That's with the 43 I've got added in.
Gotcha. We have some stuff we could probably pawn off, maybe, but what we get for it is subjective at this point.
All right. Well, if Jiggles, you're offering to be our inn, why don't you tell us what you think the next step is?
Well, you got to get a boat. Get a boat, a ship. You got to decide what size, how many bows you want. At least need a 1, which would be a bit larger than imagine what you came in here on. 2 bows would be ideal. But first, you got to get the scratch to trade for it. Or you could steal one.
Part of the problem our former boat has was the only weapons it had was what we had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why. So down here, we count the size of a ship by how many ballista she carries. 1 being 1 bow being 1 ballista. You know what a ballista is? The big crossbow.
Yes, I know what a ballista is.
Okay, just making sure. I don't speak Dwarven, so I don't know if everything translates perfectly in our speech. So 2 bows, a little bit bigger ship. 3 bows is what we came in on with our Pirate King friend. And then I've heard of a 4 bow, never seen one up close, but that's out of the question.
And how much do you think they'd run? Obviously more of a GM answer, but...
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
On average, excluding haggling or inside deals, a 1 bow is looking to run you about 6,000. A 2 bow around 8,000. A 3 bow will be 10,000. And there's no way in high hell you'll be able to afford a 4 bow because no one down here's got a 4 bow. That's like a Noah's Ark sized ship.
Well, the land we're in is kind of lawless. If we're stealing from pirates, is it really stealing? That's all I'm saying.
And
The question
still
is,
the question of the crew.
Yeah, and what is this kind of settlement's policy on inter-crew thievery while at port is another thing we have to can be considerate of. Because if we steal from other pirates and then there's laws or whatever rules in place that they take exception to that, then we have to deal with the fact that now everyone at port wants us dead.
Can't imagine they're too approving of it, but then you saw that Kobold take down the one bidder.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'd say it this way, almost like animals. If you're going to take something, make sure you can keep it. So don't take it from something bigger than you.
Unless you know someone.
Unless you have someone bigger than them. And know who you're taking from, because they may have someone bigger than both of you on the weight. Just ask Jiggles. I'll tell you who to take from and who not.
And I'm guessing our friend that we ran in there, is he top dog? He's pretty strong. Crossbow bolts pinged right off of him.
Captain Greybore?
Yes, that's his name.
Greymore
he's-
Hellspit.
Captain Greybore Hellspit and the Bonnie Diamond. She's caught me a few times. Yeah, he's a big mover and a shaker for his boat. He's not going to get challenged there. He has some pull around Dinport, but he's by no means the top dog of the port. I can't even imagine who is. Actually, would I know who is? Is there a governing body?
Depends on the territory, because the different parts of Dinport are controlled by the different gangs. The general answer is that it's the bell keepers, because if they stop ringing the bell, everyone dies, but they don't take a direct hand in most things.
Yeah, so amongst pirates, some are stronger than others, but if you mess with pirates in one crew, the rest of their crew may back them. May not if they don't like them. It just depends.
What's stopping someone else from ringing the bell if they're the supposedly the top dogs? I don't know. They can't be that influential, right?
You mean the bell keepers?
Yeah, they're just ringing a bell.
I don't know all of the magics that go into what they're doing. It's not just a bell. It's not somebody up there with a red bucket and a bell in their hand jiggling it.
Yeah. You would know, Jigless, that the Bellkeeper's Tower has no doors, and the only opening that people have been able to spot is where the bell is, and anyone who's climbed inside has never come back.
You're welcome to try.
I'm not supposing we try to attack the bell keepers or whatever. Obviously not. I was just wondering.
Look, if you really want to earn some coin by your crafting, there are the crafters over yonder. That's out of Dinport. Make everything from tools to buildings to weapons to ships. And good shipwrights are very important. There are also the carvers that get most of the metal ores and raw stones and whatnot out of the ceiling for the crafters to work on. There are other organizations too. There's the Clippers. Pardon me, sir, but the damn fungus people that just grow the fungus that most of us have to eat. Also, it's what we use for timbers for the ships. Then there's the cults. They're just weirdos. It's mostly magical dealings. If you get injured or wounded, they can sometimes help you for a price. Or you need a spell, they can help you for a price. And then there are the honest working folks like the pirates, monster hunters, etc., etc.
There's bounties on critters, I suppose.
I wouldn't call it bounties. I'd say that the critters down here are really what support our economy. That whale that y'all caught, that's more valuable than a whole boatload of prisoners because they've got the fat from it, the meat, the bone for crafting, the oil, everything.
I doubt we could take with that thing in our boat. Say nothing of finding it.
Probably melt our boat.
No, and also it was a bit odd that acid whale was over there in the Gaunt Sea. Usually you don't find them in that far.
All right.
Later on, they find a weird
like-
statue of a dwarf inside that whale.
No matter which way you slice it, unless we want to go and steal a boat, it looks like we're going to have to make some money down here. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not morally against stealing from pirates.
They're not against stealing from you.
And that's
We
why.
also have to figure out a way to build up our reputation. So if we can get a boat, we can get a crew.
I can take care of the crew, and I know some other folks who can take care of the crew too. But yeah,
You know,
money,
you've been a nice sport and
reputation.
everything, but I'm not sure I 100% trust you and your motives yet. So to be fair,
We got some good craftsmen crew. I don't guess building a boat is an option. And so you got some help.
None of you are proficient in carpentry tools, unfortunately.
Think
Plus
again.
the space requirements. I mean, even building a boat like the biggest our folding boat can turn into, we'd need a dry dock space set aside.
Mm-hmm.
I can write a mean recommendation letter, but that's about all I have in terms of skill proficiencies.
I was just going to say, I do have carpentry tool proficiency.
Okay, cool. I was wrong.
But
yeah,
that
Tassel's
helps.
right.
Person, yeah. Maybe if I had a really long time, I could build us a killer dwarf boat. But I don't know if we want to stay down here for that long. All right, so find some work.
Well, if you're looking for something that'd turn coin quickly,
That's preferable.
Yeah, something that generates a lot of coin, not just quick.
Notoriety,
well.
too, if you can think of it.
Captain Hellspit usually has a job or two that he's looking for folks to do.
Oh yes,
You
you can
might-
pay us with our own money.
Depends on how much y'all have. I didn't have very much when he took it all from me last time.
That
Something
was
tells me we don't want to be in his pocket.
over a year to this adventure. How long have we been out here?
About 9 months.
Yeah, 9 months worth of adventuring coin, assorted jewelry, claims, rewards from battle and previous jobs that we've been down here from. It's a lot of money.
Wow, and Hellspit took it all. That stings.
Like I said, so I don't think we should probably try not to be in his pocket too much.
Yeah, I don't like him, frankly.
Well, is the out of character Gumbo? Are there rooms here for them to sleep at?
Not in the whale well, but you can try to find somewhere else. You also know that if they're trying to earn coin, often you can get temp work from one of the gangs.
The gangs being the carvers or cults, or the gangs of the pirates?
The carvers, the cults, the crafters, and the clippers.
Gotcha. So, fellas, I'd like to walk you over to somewhere where you can find room for the night. I've got some people I need to visit, and we can talk further, but as you sleep tonight, there are other ways. If you don't want to go back with the pirating lot and risk your necks, you can always find stuff with the carvers or the crafters. I wouldn't recommend the clippers again. I don't trust those folks, but
So which ones are the clippers again? Like, does he elaborated on them?
Food makers.
they're your farmers.
They
Yeah.
tend the fungal grove there at the bottom.
Gotcha. I think I just didn't hear the word before, so.
Yeah.
Are there not any alternate people other than that tough asshole? Is he the only one pirating these waters?
He's the only one I trust as far as the pirates go.
If he's the one you trust, I don't even want to meet the ones you don't trust.
No, you don't. He'll give you a fair shake.
Well, as
long
much
you
as I'd love
negotiate
to
well.
dig my battle axe into that guy, he might be our quickest way.
There's also the option of maybe we can find out if any faction is more hated than the others and try to do some jobs that are considered riskier if we're really in a pinch for money, if we want to get out of here quite fast.
Well, as we walk to rooms place down the way a bit here in Denton. Look for anyone who has a exclamation point above their head.
I'm not sure if there's much. Like, I haven't done it in a while, but I am decent at some B&E if we need to utilize my skills that way.
What's that?
Breaking and entering.
Most people don't keep many possessions other than what they can trade with and for here.
Well,
it's
I figured as
transient.
I figured as much, but I'm talking about more like the bigger factions. Like if some like maybe not maybe small time pirates, maybe I can rob, or maybe some fucking I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there. I don't really know what's going on in this town.
I will say, Jigless, you would know that the cults commonly keep some weird shit in their territory. If you don't mind risking your neck a little bit. The cults aren't as united as the other three gangs. They're a bunch of separate cults that are just more or less grouped in the same spot. So you could probably steal from one without pissing off all of them.
Out of curiosity, the cults, if we get to the point of mentioning the cults, are they oppositional to one another? Or is it kind of like gangs and whatnot, rival gangs?
Yeah, they're a loose collection of mystics and weirdos. Combo, do I know if they'd be able to interact with them given where they congregate?
You could definitely go down. They spend their time in the sunken sepulcher, down beneath the water. So you could definitely walk down there and talk to them. They're not hard to gain. You can walk right into their territory, but they're very strange, and not a lot of people like to go to the sunken sepulcher because they're very non-standard in their religious practices. Some cults feud with each other, and a lot of them just kind of act like the other ones don't exist. It's a strange ecosystem of desperate people believing in desperate things.
You know, I don't have that much of a problem robbing pirates, but I don't know if these cultists I don't know if I feel good about just stealing from them.
Well, I mean, one of them did look like they wanted to buy you in particular.
A lot of times they have odd jobs that they need you to do, so to speak. Risky things that they don't want to or can't do themselves. Fighting, for instance, if there's something forbidding them to get to what they want, or information, all kinds of odds and ends.
So what do you say, we take a rest for tonight, and then we go check out the cults in the morning? Start heading down.
Maybe that we see some that we just really want to wreck their day.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I don't know if I'd be comfortable robbing them just because they're like weirdo cultists. But they haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah, but if they're into some shit that, isn't going to be good in the long term. I mean, look, one of them wanted to buy you for God knows what. It's not the weirdos that I'm worried about. It's the dangerous weirdos.
Well, if you don't want to go with people who are so sketchy, you can always go with the honest folks, the carvers or the clippers or the crafters.
Can't imagine there's a lot of money in it for a lot of those ones, though.
I don't know. If you support the whole underbelly of Dinport, you get some pretty good coinage for it. It stinks. I've got good friends in the Clippers, but it just stinks down there.
What do the Clippers do?
I think you would call it farming.
I just think I guess the third time someone's asked what the Clippers do.
No.
They clip the mushrooms that we basically use for almost everything down here. The chair you're sitting in is made out of mushroom fibers. I know some good folks down there. How about tomorrow? I need to go talk to some folks tonight, but how about tomorrow? I introduce you to a few clippers, see what they have going on right now that you might be able to help with. If you don't like it, I'll take you and introduce you to. I won't introduce you to the cultists, but I'll take you down to the cultists.
All right.
I just don't want you jumping into the sketchiest spot. I feel, what's the word for it? I feel like I should at least take care of you a little bit and not just let you run around blind. I don't know why. I guess I like him. Wants to know them.
What's your angle?
He was very honest and seemed to know a lot over y'all's travels, or seemed to have learned a lot over y'all's travels the last 9 months. And I'm highly intrigued by the adventures y'all have been on. I've had just about every adventure I think I can have down here in the Sunless Sea, and I'm getting tired of it. You only get captured by pirates so many times before you get captured again, and it's just the same old conversation where you have to kiss their ass so that you get out of it again. Same ladies, same bars, same drink. Anyway, I'll meet y'all back here tomorrow morning. How about that?
That sounds fair to me.
Gumbo, what's the place they could look for to find room and board tonight?
People often live in the Cling, which is really close to the Overmarket here.
Look for the Overmarket and ask for a place called the Cling. There's usually a place to stay around there. Keep your valuables on you. Unless y'all are ready to go right now. If y'all are going to stay here and drink, I've got to get on. But if y'all want to walk, I'll walk with you.
I mean, no time like the present to go find a place to hold up. We might have to find a place that we can make return visits to until we can get out of here. So
Yeah, let's head out.
All right.
preferably find a place with the least amount of cockroaches.
You exit the tavern and you begin heading back through the Overmarket towards the Cling. When kind of stepping through the crowd is someone that you recognize, Jigless. It is the kobold that cut a deal with you to stab that guy so you could finish the bidding. He says, "All right, Jigless, glad I found you. You're getting on. It's time to settle up." And coming behind him is there's two lizard folk right behind him as well. Definitely acting as like heavies.
Mm-hmm. What owe you? 5 gold pieces?
It was 15.
I could have sworn it was 5 now. Are you trying to pull one over on Jigless?
Are you?
Out of character, I really thought it was 5.
Yeah, I generally forgot what it was as well, so he's trying to hike up the price on you. This is what happens when someone's gone for 2 weeks.
Well, so, you know, criminal underbelly.
Let's split it down the middle and say 10 gold pieces and future business.
Give me a persuasion. I say you pay in full now, and then we'll have future business.
But full is 5 gold pieces.
Full
You're
is
losing
15.
5 extra. Look, we agreed on 5. Everyone was in the crowd.
It's me against you and my 2 friends here, and the other friends I have that you don't see.
While this is going on, can I actually look around when he says that to see if I can see people watching us?
Sure, perception. Yeah. In the rigging around the stands, because you're in the middle of the market, you see there is several goblins and kobolds who are definitely eyeing this entire exchange, like seeing if they need to jump in or not.
Yeah,
It's
when
not,
he says that,
it's not like an army, but you are surrounded.
Do I
when
know
he
this
says that, he looks
kobold's
around.
name?
He's like, "Oh yeah, I see them. I see that one there, and there, and there. Oh, and there."
Yeah, when you see one, there are 10 waiting. Look, you're gonna make me look bad in front of my new friends. Nogrum,
Yeah.
can I borrow 5 gold pieces? I had to use it to help bid you guys free. I only have 10. Jiggles is gonna hand him 10 and say, but this one of these guys can pay you 5 more.
I've got no more cash on me. No room to look to Fergus.
How much gold did you say you had in there?
I only had 5 silver pieces, but also 2,000 gold salt crystals.
Okay, yeah. Then I just kind of shrug. Cash poor at the moment.
None of you have 5 gold pieces.
I'll pick up a rock off the ground and I'll kind of smush it in my hands and it'll come out as a toy dragon and go, does this work? Wait. Let me show you. And I'll wind it up and it'll fly around.
Give me a persuasion at disadvantage. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Like, I legit don't have enough gold to pay, so I can't do nothing.
Yeah, I don't either. So
12, baby.
how about 10 now?
Wait. Before you answer, I pick up another rock and then make another one. 2 for 1 sale.
I kind of like look through my stuff. I'm like, if you read, I have a book of Drow erotica that probably is worth a good amount of money. Somebody.
All right, just take their shit. I'll move you guys over to the map. I'll bring up the initiative. You guys should be able to see.
Yep.
All right. I agree that I probably wouldn't be in the battle suit, but where is it? Because I don't think it's
That would probably be
outside or something. Or
right over on the other side of those kobolds or something. Maybe.
All
I
right.
totally forgot about that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I totally get I'm probably not like always walking around in it,
Yeah.
especially on like rickety planks or whatever. But I'll probably park it somewhere.
I don't know. I just dragged Miku in for an NPC unless we don't want to have him right now.
That's fine. Either way.
I figure we haven't really utilized Miku as much, so no time like the present.
Is everyone all rolled up?
I am.
I'm in.
Yeah, okay, cool. First up is the Kobold Cutthroats.
Should have just taken the dragons.
So these two are going to step up on Nilgram. This guy who was the one talking is going to go after Digless as this one hops down from above. And this last one back here will use a sling on Freya. So they do have pack tactics, so these will be at advantage. So first up, Nilgram. 1 attack.
Hit.
2 attack. Miss.
Do we have a chance to rest? I'm not sure why I have some hit points missing.
You should have had a long rest already.
Yeah, it should be full up.
Yeah.
9 will miss.
Yep.
Damn,
so
guys, they're better rogues than I am. They have 46 sneak attack.
They're really good at mugging people. See, one just comes up and tries to stab you in the kidneys. Does that damage. Now these ones will be against Jigless.
Ooh, that's gonna hit, but I'm gonna use, what does shield do?
It adds 40 to your AC, I believe.
Yeah.
5.
5, even better.
That wouldn't cut it, so I won't use that. I'll just get stabbed.
Okay. Oh, sorry. That one should have had the sneak. 1 second. There we go. And then the second one. Wow, I'm rolling really well.
Can't wait to see what Cope's next character is.
It's a rough neighborhood, man. And then finally, the one is going to use its sling on Freya. And 14 misses, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
All right. Fergus.
So we're doing this, huh? And I pull out the Shadow Blade and activate it.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to go ahead and step around here. Start with this guy.
This one?
The one directly south of me.
Gotcha. Go for it. That will miss.
Okay. I'm going to use a superiority die then.
Okay.
14 will probably still miss.
That'll make it hit.
Okay. So this one will take 20 points of damage.
Instantly dead.
And then I'm going to attack the next one after it.
All right, on. Let's move him out of the way.
Haha, but they're
Gonna
leader
use
dead.
another
Surely their
superiority
morale
die.
will break.
That'll make a hit.
Take off sneak attack. 17 points.
Still kills him. The kobold cutthroats can do really good sneak attack damage. They are not terribly durable.
I am going to then action surge and step up and attack this one over here.
Oh, that goblin is up on top of a tent. He's about 8 feet up.
Okay, then I'm going to throw my Shadow Blade and discharge it.
Very fair.
So, Shadow Blade attack.
Oh shit!
That'll almost certainly hit.
So,
Also
30
dead.
something. And then, since I don't have really anything drawn for my final attack, I'm just going to pull out my daggers.
All right.
Just to let you know, you wanted this.
And one of the ones currently painting the boardwalk red wanted it.
Mhm. Who's controlling Miku?
Usually it's Cope, but I can too. He's busy learning his new
Yeah,
character.
if you will. Yeah, new character. I'm trying to read spells.
Okay, he's gonna walk down here then to help Nolgrim.
Mhm.
Enter a rage, and I don't know, I'll have him reckless.
Yeah, that's very fair. That almost certainly hit. Yeah, that'll kill. Dead.
And I don't think he has a second attack yet.
No.
Oh, it says he does.
Oh, he does?
Oh.
Oh, cool.
No, he's only level 4.
Oh,
For some reason, it has the
wait.
5th level thing on there.
He should be 5, I'm pretty sure. Let me check. You guys are level 8 right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yes,
No, yeah, level 8, he should be level 5, so he should have 2 attacks.
Okay. So yeah, for some reason, it just showed him still as 5. So, I mean, you know what I mean.
I'm pretty sure this will kill him, but yep, there it is. And dead.
That's his turn.
Freya.
All right. Take out Gloomstalker.
Mm-hmm.
Aim at this goblin up here. And if it'll let me get to it, fire.
It'll show up someday.
It was
Yep.
9 and piercing.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit. It won't kill him, but he'll take a lot of damage from that. Very badly hurt.
All right.
Isn't that your turn?
Yep.
All right. Goblin Pirate's turn. They're going to pull out these, like, metal alchemist flasks. And we are going... This one up here is going to throw 1 at Fergus, 1 at Taskell. And this one over here is going to throw 1 at Freya, 1 at Miku. So, first up,
Remember, the
Sure.
Miku one has advantage.
right, Fergus. This.
Mhm.
Taskell. Oop, that'll hit.
Mm-hmm. Fire, I do have resistance, so that goes down to 4.
And they just automatically catch on fire, or do they have to make a dex save?
Nope, automatically.
Gotcha.
And then this one's going to be against Freya. Imagine that misses, and then advantage against Niku. Oh, that one will hit. And remember, his rage does not have that damage.
Yeah, and
Does
he's not
anyone
immune. He's not weak to fire, right?
No, he is not.
Gotcha.
Does anyone know if absorb elements you have to be hit by it? I think you do.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Also, I just noticed we all rolled pretty
Yes.
high on our initiatives,
Mm-hmm.
When you
except
take,
for Jiggles.
I was making sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
It's going to paint a pretty scene.
absorb the element.
And that ends the Goblin Pirate's turn.
Mm-hmm. I guess first thing's dex save.
That will take your action, I believe. if
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
right.
it takes your action to extinguish the fire.
Although it does say I take 1d4 at the start of the turn, so if you want to roll that.
Yep, I'll do that right now. 2 fire damage.
1 fire
Resistance.
Mm-hmm.
damage.
So you're just going to use your action to put yourself out?
Yeah, and I guess then bonus cast for the weapon.
All right.
Since
You
it's one
smack
what
at the
hit
goblin.
me. And I think I'll cast it as well. Double check my spell levels, yeah.
Pretty proud with how this map came out, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah. This is
Oh,
another
yeah.
one you use on Dungeon Draft, by the way.
Yep, I've been using that for pretty much all the maps now because it's just faster than my old Photoshop method.
It just goes fast. Is I think the best
Yeah,
benefit of it.
I could be a little bit more precise with what I want with the Photoshop method, but it's just faster.
I mean, you can always start in Dungeon Draft, and then after you
Yeah, exactly.
import it into Photoshop and finish the touches if you needed to.
Exactly, but this one worked out pretty well. So he's still up, but oh, sorry, I misread that. I thought the 15 was the hit. No, you killed him. Sorry, I didn't realize it did 25 damage. No, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead, Jim.
All right, now it's Nulgrim.
He's going to shift up here to get better view, and then do an Eldritch Blast, 1 at him and 1 at him.
Gotcha.
And this will be pushing strike, so I'll shove him 10 feet.
So pretty much, if you hit him, it's over.
Already 60% of their number are dead.
Well, the
This
first
one
one
just
would
goes
have
flying into the water.
First one was, yeah.
killed him instantly.
Mhm.
The second one isn't killed instantly because it doesn't have the. Oh, sorry, the second one misses.
Mhm.
So also your grudge is still on.
Oh, is it? Yep.
So the second one against the kobold does miss, but the goblin is both killed and flung into the drink, which is, it's not actually that close to you. It's actually like way far down, but you can't portray depth on the maps too well. I tried my best, but.
Wilhelm scream ensues.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Gotta say, these lizard folk pirates probably aren't looking too happy about this now.
Yeah. Let me do a little thingamajiggy. So this one runs.
Mm-hmm.
He just straight up boogity bounces. This one is gonna go in on Fergus though.
Got it.
So first he is going to try to bite you. Oh, shouldn't be at advantage. Should just be normal. So that's the 9.
Miss.
And then he is going to take a swing at you with his cutlass.
That'll hit. I'm just gonna use a superior die. It won't block it. It'll make my AC 21, but it'll reduce the damage by half.
All right. 4.
I don't. I saw how much Jiggles just got beaten the fuck out of. So
Oh yeah, no, most definitely.
Fergus is on the defensive, so
Mm.
he just parries it with a little bit with his dagger to kind of block some of the blow.
And that's the lizard folk pirate. Jiggles.
With all the agility of a fish out of water. Finally, Jiggles' turn.
Jiggles is going to upcast a healing word on himself.
Mhm.
So he's going to cast it at his highest level. Because damn.
The truth comes out. He just wanted us for bodyguards.
I mean, you guys did just kill like 10 people in 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to move around behind this guy. Stab.
Healing word's a bonus action.
Pull his rapier.
So that'll hit.
What is that? Why did he attack again? Oh, well, I got 2 attacks anyway.
Yeah, so go ahead, just click. So 17. So, yeah, Fergus, you see Jiggles agilely dodge through the crowd here, and he just comes up and quickly stabs this lizardfolk twice in the back. The lizardfolk's still up, but he's very grievously hurt.
Got it.
Because 17 damage, it's pretty damn good. So this kobold is going to run.
Mm-hmm.
He has no reason to stick around. They're not zealots. Fergus.
Yeah,
I
no
just
problem.
look over at Jiggles and be like, so this is how you make friends, huh?
These are not friends.
That'll
Definitely
hit.
acquaintances.
And then 2d6 sneak attack.
Yeah, he did.
I just impale him through the skull.
Jiggles is immediately going to get his 10 gold pieces back and whatever that main guy had on him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, I don't think anyone's going to object to us searching the bodies in this town.
Nope.
I can probably snag one of these 2 running away.
Yeah, you can.
No, let him go. We may need him as crew later on.
All right.
See.
Yeah, let's pick their pockets.
Roll me 8d4 as I move you back to the overmap.
Seed funds for whatever we're doing.
17 gold pieces in small change between them. It's a combination of coppers and silvers, but that's why it's allocated like that.
There you go. Now you got walking around money.
And whatever weapons they had, probably.
Probably
It's
nothing too fancy.
It's mainly just scrap daggers, slings, which are just a bit of a leather and rocks. The fanciest thing was some battered looking cutlasses that the lizard folk had.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a gold piece for that, but just let it go into the decking and build up the island.
I'm going to take a couple of the junk daggers, though.
Okay.
Just to have as throwing daggers if I need them.
Books are identical to daggers, they just don't sell for much.
If nothing else, I can melt them down, reforge stuff to sell. Of course, that requires setting up a forge, doesn't it?
I mean, don't you have your portable forge?
But out of character, can't you reshape metal?
I don't recall a portable forge, but yeah, no, I can
Yeah, I don't.
set out up to 100 gold
Yeah.
worth of value to make 100 gold. Done it a few times to make just metal, which in theory I could make half a ton of fucking iron, but and then forge that into other shit, but that'd take 100 gold. And then
Are we
probably a
sure
week of
building
forging.
a boat is that question?
By the way, while we're picking pockets, I kind of just look at everyone's like, so hear me out. We have in our bag a magical cleaver that could probably sell for a pretty penny to somebody who knows what magic is. Chances of them knowing it's cursed might be, 50-50, though. I'm just looking through our items, and I noticed we still had that.
If
I will-
there's anywhere to unload it, I think it's here.
There's some merchants who dabble in all kinds of weapons. They'll figure it out pretty quick.
I will say also, Fergus, you do possess something else that probably could single-handedly fund the buying of a ship in your journal, which was the Night Eye glass treatment formula that you took from the Isle of Seven Horns.
Oh yeah, but he's actually honest.
More
about
or
the
less
fact he doesn't
stiff-armed
wanna-
a gnome into letting you keep it.
Oh yeah, but he is legit honest about that he doesn't want to give it away to anybody.
I mean, that's
He
like
just wanted to
10K.
have it on. He just wanted to have it just in case. That actually was his legit reasoning.
Mm.
So, yeah, he's not going to just sell that.
Mm. Just letting you know, that's 10K easily.
Yeah, but Fergus isn't the right bastard yet.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Just work for the pirates for a month or two, and then we'll see.
So, you guys quickly distance yourself from where you killed a bunch of people. Not because you're going to get in trouble, but because other people are coming to loot the bodies, and you don't need to be in the middle of the scrum.
We just see a bunch of heads poking out of behind barrels inside of water casks.
Yep. They were waiting just for this moment.
Lizard folk
A
pops
guy
out,
comes
looks
out
at
of
the
a
other lizard
restaurant
folks.
with a cleaver. Don't eat there tonight.
A lizard folk pops out to look at the other lizard folk. Are you going to eat / fuck that?
Possibly not in that order.
Plan on spit roasting it. You want help?
Too far now.
Yep.
Yes, looking for a place to stay.
So you guys, Jigless leads you out of the overmarket through a series of connecting bridges and stairs along the side of this giant broken stalagmite over to the Cling, which is a series of wooden structures that are more or less fastened into the side of the stone edifice, being supported by beams and rickety construction on top of each other. After asking around some and Jigless using his own lore, you guys find a reasonably priced, if not especially nice place to stay that can put you up for 3 copper pieces each for 1 rest, called, well, I'll just say type out what the sign says.
Hanging garden.
It's more or less wooden boxes that are small rooms that you can sleep in, suspended on chains with rope bridges connecting each other. It's one of those things that as you're walking across these rickety bridges, you're grateful that this is in the Underdark, because then there's no wind to give you a heart attack. But
You really hate your neighbor, you just start shaking the entire place.
yeah, it's very difficult to sneak up on someone to rob them while you're sleeping now. As shifting around in any of these given boxes makes the entire thing sway.
And is there room for multiple people per box, or is it 1 person per box?
It's about 2 people per.
Gotcha. If whoever has the most valuables probably bunk with me, I can ward us from sudden surprise, even if the sound wouldn't.
And Jigless, you said you had business to attend to, right? Oh.
Yeah, just out of character, he's going to visit friends or some other people, catch up with some folks. Nothing in particular.
Okay, just checking. All right. So if you guys are clear to rest, who's housing with who?
'Tis the question. I recommend that anyone who has stuff that would actually be valuable to steal probably bunk with me, because I can alarm our room.
I will say, if Freya wants to house her suit, she probably just must have one by herself. because that's going to take up the bulk of the space.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I could park it outside. I mean,
But it might get stripped for parts.
like the,
Come back, it's on cinder blocks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
on
was just
cinder
gonna make that
block.
joke.
I would be pretty impressed if they could turn my suit into fucking scrap without making enough noise to alert any of us.
No, you don't
There's magic
understand.
people. They know silence. I'm sure.
You
No,
don't understand. They
It's
took
not different parts. Like they can disassemble it. It's a single solid piece of stone.
they didn't take anything from it. They just lifted it up and put it on cinder block. Oh man, why can't one of those prank shows like Punch do that, where they
Mhm.
put people's cars on cinder blocks, but they don't take the wheels. They literally lift up the entire car and put it on cinder blocks when someone's inside.
I mean, that's still super inconvenient.
Just to sow confusion into the world.
Well, not only that, but then they have to figure out how do I ease the card down, because that feels like a pretty steep drop,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it all the more irritating.
Oh yeah. All right, so the suit is staying outside. Who's staying with Fergus?
If nobody else will, Mulgrim will volunteer. I don't have much in the way of wealth to be stolen, but Mulgrim likes hanging out with Fergus.
Yeah, I mean, no one else volunteered, so
I mean, I have
What is it?
items, but like they're not useful to anyone else but me.
yeah, that's all good. I just figured I'd recommend it, but either way, Fergus is going to alarm the room.
All right. So
I'm gonna make it so anyone can enter except for Jiggles. Anyone in the party, I mean.
yeah.
Again, in character, he doesn't really trust Jiggles yet.
Oh yeah.
Some ulterior motives going on there.
It's understandable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is Freya gonna bunk with her dad?
No, she's gonna bunk with the Mushroom Man.
Yeah, I mean that's one option.
Yeah, crazy mushroom stories. So.
This one time when I was a shroom,
So one time at band camp,
Weird you to phrase it like that. Like there was there a time before you were a shroom?
I remember when
I remember when I was a spore.
I was just moisture and decomposing matter.
you can't say this one time when I was on shrooms when you're a shroom.
No, yes, this one time when I was on shroom, and then it just cuts to Miku on top of a giant mushroom. This is a good view. All right, I'll just fast forward. It's the next day then.
All right.
So everyone long rests.
If we want to set up shop, I could use Stone Shape to start excavating an area. I can cast it twice a day, which means 5 by 5 by 10 area.
We're just gonna play a game of Minecraft and just carve out a little, fortress in this area.
I mean, we have plenty of creepers around here, so if it's
The disadvantage is that now that we've got direct enemies, I'm sure they'll want revenge, and if we set up shop, they'll know where we are. But they could know where we are anyway, because, a bunch of surface dwarves wandering around with a fish ain't hard to find.
I will also say, as you guys are collecting yourselves in the morning and probably waiting for Jiggles to come back, you left your suit outside Freya. You find it. It's very much in one piece. It's just a big stone statue after all. But at its feet is a single lit candle and a small pile of definitely useless scrap metal.
Hey guys, someone left us a present.
oh god, did we create a cult? We've only been here a day.
Not again.
Hey, look, if we have a cult that wants to join our crew, then that saves us a lot of time.
Oh
Just-
god, the cult of the giant stone Freya. It's a completely different sect from the giant stoned Freya,
I'm going to
but they have some connections.
this stuff a little bit closer to see if I can find any identifying markers.
The candle is the kind of same kind of like whale wax that you've been seeing a lot throughout this entire place since you got here yesterday. The scrap metal itself is just kind of like rusty crap. You can give me a insight or investigation to see if you can infer anything.
All right. I will give you an investigation.
Yeah. On a 16, your guys' out of character joke is very accurate. This definitely seems like what someone would put in front of like a way shrine. You haven't heard of anyone using rusted scrap metal as an offering, but yeah, this is a religious thing.
Let's wait.
Oh no, I said that in character.
Going on.
Could be used for our advantage in the future, but it could also really fuck us very quickly. Where's that fish man? He's supposed to meet us here. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to do our own thing. That's your
So-
cute dope.
Yeah. How wild of a night did you have there, Jiggles? Go.
Jiggles.
Sorry. So Jiggles walks back up, and he's got a wrap of seaweed or kelp that he has pressed on his forehead just above his eye. His eye's a little bit swollen. And see, you gentlemen made it through the night. That's good. That's good. Anything happen?
Freya started a cult, I think.
Freya started a cult. And which one is Freya again?
The one girl in our group.
There's
Oh,
a
wait,
girl
sorry.
in the group?
One of two.
Yeah. Ivy had a moment there.
Like that slow head turn to look at
Yep.
me.
Oh. That looks like the knickknacks that the bellkeepers. Am I right, Gamba?
Nope. Bell keepers sometimes buy random junk from people, but it's always seemingly random. So I guess maybe they might buy this, but it's just as likely that they buy a jar of toenail clippings or a fancy shaped seashell.
I think you have started a cult then.
No other ideas other than the cult theory.
Well, you could sell it to the bell tower. The bellkeepers usually buy stuff like this, so maybe they. I have no idea. Like I said, the cultists—they're just weird folk. I prefer to deal with the straight people.
There's some, like-
I heard somebody make a little snicker.
That was me. That's just the phrasing of that was making me think of that. I prefer to deal with straight people.
Oh man!
Well, I mean, he is from the south.
Yeah, I've been disappointed.
Underground, even
Yeah.
like a troglodyte.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, Cope. I know that you were one of the few people here that has also watched Into the Badlands, and I'm kind of disappointed you haven't pronounced the Clippers yet.
Oh God! It's been a while, but yeah.
You remember that?
Clippers.
How that guy said Clippers was just insane.
Yeah, he tried to have this horrible Southern accent. It was awful.
He's super British.
It was worse than Con Air.
Mm-hmm. So what do you guys want to do from here? You can split up if you want to go multiple directions. You know, you don't have to do everything in a pack, but it's up to you.
I don't know. This seems like a lead that could lead us to something if we want to try and figure out if there's some sort of custom around this weird rusted metal thing they've done.
If we do want to split up, I will say that we probably should stick in groups rather than go completely solo. No one volunteer any ideas.
I am going to say, as you've seen, this is a pretty primal area where strength in numbers does count for something. Now, given your weapon prowess and fighting ability, they will greatly underestimate your numbers. So splitting up, you may be able to survive. But as always, I recommend sticking together.
Yeah, I think just in general, sticking together is probably wisest.
Now, Jiggles is eating some of the kelp that he was holding to patch his eye. And there is the other fact that you don't know where you're going, and on your first real time here, you don't want to waste it just wandering around and getting lost so that I have to find you. Why don't I show you where you want to go these first few days, and then you go on your merry way. Anybody want any kelp?
I'm
It's not
good.
really kelp. Seaweed. Doesn't grow from the sun.
I think we were gonna head down to the sepulcher.
The sunken sepulcher.
I think that's what the talk was before.
That's where the cults are. If you want to go talk to the Clippers, they're in the Fungus Grove 11.
Okay, I guess we need to talk to the Clippers first.
And it's also up to you, Jiggles, at what point you want to broach the topic with some people about trying to round up a potential crew.
Yeah, I want to see what these clowns are going to do first. They may not even end up needing a crew. But I'll take them down to the Clippers first, since it's on the way down to the sunken temple.
Mm-hmm. So, going down into what's called Bilge Side. Bilge Side is every part of Dinport that's below the water. Is interior stone. Like a cave within a cave, I guess you could say. There's tunnels, small little micro neighborhoods and stuff down here. Most of it is not hollowed out. And as you navigate down, the Deep Known and Derogar population get a little bit more dense. Though quite a few people are, you kind of see shambling their way towards 9, which is the drip. But eventually you get to the expansive and flat cavern of the Fungus Grove. Probably by Dinport standard, it's quite expansive with all the giant fungus trees that are quite familiar to you. But you guys who have been to the fungal jungle up in Azathir, it is quaint by comparison. It looks like a lot of goblins and kobolds are mainly tending this, but there's a small kind of like dispersation of a bunch of different species that all work here. While there's several guard posts of definitely thuggish looking individuals that are overlooking it. I'm trying to remember, Cope. I was trying to scroll through Skype. Clippers is the one that owes you favors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you actually do have a contact without needing to roll to find someone. A goblin named Gleek that you can talk to about potential work or anything like that. You can make an introduction.
Yeah, I'd asked the guards where. Did you say his name was Queef?
Nope, we are not doing that again.
Okay.
I was very weak. Yes, get him to the weak. Yeah, they recognize you enough, and they're able to direct you to a section that was piled up like fungus logs out in front as this little 2-story house. Imagine many of you are enjoying the fact that this is the most solid ground that you've had since you've gotten to Dinport. On the inside, surrounded by bugbear heavies, you see a small little goblin getting up there in years, which means he's probably in his early 30s. Potbelly. Life has been treating him well. Like a tiny little pencil mustache. And he goes, Jigglis, it is good to see you. Most fortuitous, you coming on the day of my daughter's wedding. Side note, the past 5 times you've come, it has been the day of his daughter's wedding. He has many daughters.
Weak. I wouldn't miss it. I would not miss it. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. He's a bastard, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
I grow up so fast despite my best efforts.
Oh,
Eventually, the enforcers were going to not be able to kill one of them.
Well, time is of the essence then.
Still.
Speaking of which, I want to introduce you to some new compadres that I met out on the Sunless Sea.
The surfaces. Rumors travel fast from the overmarket down to the territory of the Clippers. Been a long time since we've gotten new surface dwarves.
Indeed, and I knew you'd want to see them, Gweek. This is Nolgrim.
Points to Taskell.
He has many stories of their travels. This is the others, including Freya and Fergus.
Hi, I'm Freya.
In his defense, he met me like yesterday.
Gweek, they've come to us in the way that many do at the moment, without any form of coin or any way of getting it. And I was wondering if you have anything on this most auspicious day that you might need for them to do.
Of course. The grove always needs tending. If they have no other marketable skills, they can always assist for 3 silver pieces per day. Of course, if they are more martially inclined, we always need requiring protection money from our various rackets and the merchants in the overmarket.
You want them to collect? They'd be okay at that. They do have some skill with arms. What would their pay be?
2 gold pieces per day per enforcer. If you want more dangerous work, well, that we'll have to see. I do owe you a favor, Jigglis. So if you wish to call that in, I can hook them up with one of our higher paying jobs now. If not, I will need to see how they handle the work that I already have before I give them anything worth more.
Well, sir, it is very kind of you to offer. I'm going to introduce them to a few other groups. Show them about town. Many people want to see them, and I don't want to take your time on, as I said, this most auspicious day. So we will be back.
Very well. You know where to find me.
I do indeed, sir. And many well wishes to your daughter and that bastard.
May he choke on his wedding dinner.
May he indeed.
And then you guys take your leave, I assume.
Yeah, as we walk out. Oh,
I just realized we're in the Underdark version of Little Italy.
Oh, it stinks down there in the slums. I'll tell you what, can't take a decent breath. I'd rather I could wear a fishbowl around my head and just breathe it in there, but the Greek would be offended. As I warned
Also, that'd be a little bit on the nose, don't you think?
Mika releases spores. It was poorly maintained.
As I said, as I warned you, It's going to be a long time earning the coin you need for a boat, working with the different clans, but I'm happy to introduce you to the cultists as well.
As the Greek said, there's might be higher paying jobs, but they're still kind of an unknown factor. They're not going to be all like, hey, new person off the street, take this magic dagger and assassinate the crime lord of the rival family.
Yeah, but Jiggles isn't telling on that. He wants you to go back and work for the Pirate King. Dun, dun, dun.
He's not really a king. He's just a pirate.
But don't tell him that.
Mm-hmm. So where to next?
Let's ask around, see if we can try and figure out what's going on with these tributes.
Did you by chance wear your machine down here?
Yeah, if we're on the move, then I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna wear it.
All right, that's gonna make it much easier to figure out who's interested.
Mm-hmm.
Out of curiosity, I'm not sure if you described it, and I just kind of blanked out again. The Greytown, what is that one?
Oh, I didn't describe it. Jiggles could tell you though. That is the primary neighborhood that the Derogar population live in.
Gotcha.
Probably not a good place for us to go then.
No, they probably would take exception to our existence.
Yeah, it would probably be like Jiggles gets glares, but he could go through there. It would probably be a rough neighborhood for you guys. Probably not like Kung Fu Hustle, everyone descending on you all at once nonsense, but
Now I want a Kung Fu Hustle campaign combo, thanks.
yeah, that's gonna happen in the future.
That's for when we go to the Greytown, but let's not push it.
We all play monks.
As with many things, it's someday.
Mm.
That's gonna be an awesome day.
Add it to the list. Someone starts playing one of those big drums. Bum 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 bum. We just unveil the scroll of future
list.
campaigns.
What happened to Jonathan, who used to write them down? Jonathan has passed.
Mm-hmm.
He was 10 when you started playing together. He died at 80.
He tried to reach the bottom of the list. He is lost to us.
No one reads full sacred texts.
All right. So the plan is to visit the cults in the Sunken Sepulchre.
Yeah, at least get a sense of the whole situation. Maybe not talk to all of them or anything, but definitely check out the area.
All right. So you guys go up from the Fungal Grove. The only direct path to the Sunken Sepulchre is through the Drip, which is these caverns here. Jiggles could inform you about all this. The Drip is a particular space here within Dinport, as there is a special kind of moss that grows on the ceiling here. And when the natural condensation drips down through it, it affects the water, turning it into a powerful narcotic that's highly addictive that causes you to have extremely pleasant dreams. It can be absorbed through the skin. And there's also small houses here where people steam it, which lets them have kind of like a waking trip. So the only way through this, as there's these stagnant pools of highly addictive liquid, is these little wooden paths that are covered.
Cannonball!
Yes. If you were wondering, Jiggles, you definitely have not tried. They're called Dream Drops. You definitely have not tried Dream Drops. Otherwise, you would most likely be drugged out down here.
Yeah, just addicted. I'd stay away from the drip houses, guys. It's pretty much the end of your world. You go into those dreams and you don't ever wake up.
So I would very much like to leave this place at some point. Though I'm still in favor of setting up shop somewhere, even if to save money on housing.
We should definitely visit the crafters then, because if you're going to set up a crafting shop, you should probably talk to them first. They may take offense to you just setting up a random shop somewhere.
Competition being what it is.
Mm-hmm. But for a little gratitude pay, they may let you set up. Just a cut. That's just how business is done here.
Something about spending money to make money, I suppose.
Gombo, when we go down to the culty area, the
Sunken Sepulchre.
do we notice anyone particularly interested? I mean, obviously, it's going to draw some attention being like a big soup down here, but
Yeah, let me alter the music, as the Sunken Sepulchre is kind of an interesting place.
You didn't give me much on that, so I'll let you do everything.
Yeah, I imagine it's not a place that you visit very often, Jigless. Most people who aren't a member of the cults don't come if they can help it. The carved stone tunnel gives way to actual stonework and brickwork that's somehow built into the inside of this stalagmite. Strange kind of like humanoid statues that are featureless to depict no particular race are built into the walls, and scurrying all about you, you see all manner of people of the varying races of Dinport, but they're all wearing like various like internal religious garb. Common like long robes with hoods are very common, but they're all of different fabrics and colors, usually pretty junky. And this place has so many like winding hallways and corridors, along with tunnels that cut in themselves. It's like a weird combination of a homeless camp, but also like a Vatican City type situation, but with numerous religions. You see on a pedestal, there's like a large broken foot. It's about like 2 yards across, essentially, and there's an array of candles, and there's like 5 people just straight up bowing to it. Somewhere else, you see that there is a deep gnome with wild eyes who's standing on top of a box. He's got like a belt strapped around his forehead, and he's apparently giving a very impassioned sermon about something, but you don't understand the language he is speaking. But every so often he'll just say one word, and then a congregation of like 18 other people will repeat the word. There's something about this place that kind of like sends a tingle up your guys' spine. Something just feels off here. Almost like there's like this instinctual part of your brain that says if you linger here too long, you'll catch whatever these other people have. Because it's a bizarre microcosm, because it's quite apparent that everyone here is of like a different religion, despite the fact that they're within literal feet of each other.
Yeah, I'd watch out for that Broken Foot clan.
is that what happens? They beat the
They-
new
They have their roots in Thessalonia.
No one knows what that means, but they do. This is our segue into Curse of the Crimson Throne. That's where the other foot to the gate foot is. I am gonna put my secret layer under that, Michael, by the way. It's too perfect. But if you guys are looking around to find a particular cult, you can give me each I would say an investigation, because persuasion would not be super helpful. You can do persuasion, but it would be at disadvantage. Freya, if you are looking for the particular vestment of that one person that was trying to bid to pay your ransom, you can do your investigation at advantage if you are explicitly looking for just that.
Yeah, let's. That seems like a good lead to find out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Boo! I rolled a
Looking for
5.
people with junk metal.
Advantage.
Mm-hmm.
23.
All right. Nolgrim, Taskell.
Yeah, I'll help out.
I'm not looking for anything.
All right. Yeah. So, like, as you guys are looking or / pseudo asking around, it's kind of like if you've ever been to like a convention floor, where it's you're looking around and you're still you separate some, but you still are able to keep eyes on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Taskell, you're not really engaging with anyone. You're just kind of standing to the side. But you have the most bizarre thing is that every time anyone, regardless of religious affiliation, walks past you, they say the word deceived.
That is disconcerting.
Okay. Next up, Nolgrim. If you were just trying to get a feel for well, what exactly are you trying to help find the same cult that Freya was?
Yeah.
Nolgrim? Okay. Well, then you and Freya, especially with Freya's 23, it doesn't take too long before you guys find a small group of people wearing the same ragged robes that the one that was doing the bidding was. It was 2 of them hunched over, wearing hoods of like dark leather that seemed to be conversing in the corner. And at the approach of Freya's large, stompy statue, they turn, and you can't quite see their features. They immediately gasp and fall to their knees, and begin prostrating themselves on the ground, saying in undercommon, "The herald has come! Praise the dark iron!"
Nolgrim will just look up to Freya, just smirk.
The Herald, huh?
Like, are they all like different variations of people, or are they all a specific?
You actually
Right.
haven't gotten. None of you have gotten a good look at them. Currently, it's just Nolgrim and Freya who have encountered these people. The rest of you are like a short distance away.
Gotcha.
And then haven't actually seen what's them underneath their robes. So they're currently just like pressing their faces into the ground. So it's up to you to make the first move here.
I guess Freya will say, "Greetings. You may introduce yourself."
We are unworthy of seeing the herald, the one who bears the form made of moving stone, the herald of the dark iron of old. There was word of your coming at the markets above, but our emissary was unable to return. The speaker will be so pleased. You can almost hear him to start crying.
Yes, the speaker. Why don't you introduce us?
Of course. These frail, useless sacks of flesh that we are unworthy of communicating directly with the herald. Come, please follow us quickly before the others see the providence at hand and become jealous. and they begin swiftly zigging through the crowd.
Clunk, clunk.
Yeah. So Pilgrim and Freya, if you don't follow them immediately, you'll probably lose them again.
Mhm.
So if you want to follow them, there's going to be a chance you'll be separated from Pascal, Fergus, and Jiggles.
I think it's worth it. We should go and
Yeah.
catch up if we need to. How far away are the other two?
They're you're in a large space right now, and these other guys seem to be going through and into a tunnel.
Yeah, let's go after them. They seem friendly at the very least.
All right. Nogren will quickly call out just who you say it was? It was Taskell and who else were?
Taskell, Fergus, and Jiggles, and as well as any cohorts that are with you.
And yeah, Nogren will just shout Taskell's name just to try to draw his attention, and if he does, just kind of point in a direction before turning and going.
Taskell, give me a perception at disadvantage.
And I think the what was the perception? I think the 10-foot tall stone robot is gonna be kind of hard to miss in any kind of crowd.
Yeah, but they're leaving this main floor area.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so you don't
Yeah.
hear Nolgrim call you.
Do I know? Yeah. Do I know who has the other copycat journal?
Fergus, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have it.
All right. Nogren will just kind of keep that, make a mental note, but focus on catching up for now.
Let's head out.
Mm-hmm. So you guys dip down a hallway, with peak roofs that go into some stone as carved stone hallways as you guys go deeper into the sepulcher. A couple minutes later, Fergus, Jiggles, and Taskell, you all meet back up again, and you realize you're a couple people down, and you don't see the giant stone statue of Freya anywhere.
Yeah, God, if this is going to be another one of those situations where Nolgrim gets killed because he teleported into somewhere, it wouldn't surprise me.
Me either.
Who said that?
Where in the world is Nolgrim Freya?
Nolgrim San Diego?
Yeah, at least it's not time.
Well, at least now we know who we're looking for, and Jiggles will start asking about for a 10-foot tall stone statue.
All right.
Did anyone see it?
Quick round of persuasions from you guys who are asking. All right.
Forget that plus 2, but
Yeah. So Jiggles and Fergus, you guys managed to get a solid lead. Taskell, while you're asking about and you're just getting called deceived over and over and over again, you do eventually see something that you weren't expecting to see down here. Though he appears to be a little bit more than a bundle of rags at first, leaned up against a side wall is a dwarf, an actual surface dwarf, not Darugar. He looks caked in dirt and grime, and he's got like a ragged bandage over one eye.
Guess I'll slowly walk up to him, kind of like trying to get his attention as I move up and speak in Dwarven. Hey, old brother, you seem to be alive, not in great condition.
Drink water.
Hey, stranger, you look like shit.
Well, it has been some time since I've seen kinsmen in these parts. Road must have been long for you to reach here.
Long, twisted, occasionally collapsed.
can only imagine. If you're down this deep into the black depths of the earth, then I imagine you're seeking Dammerhall.
A fair guess.
I did too. Long time ago. Long time ago now.
Hmm. Well, from what we've gathered, we're on the right track, aside from not knowing where we are in this damnable sea.
I can tell from your garb and the symbol of Father Mountain that you have there that you too are deceived.
Seems to be a common word amongst those around here. But what do you mean?
You're deceived by lies of old, my lost kinsman. I was too a cleric of Mother Fire long ago. The gods did not lead me to Dammerhall, as I'm sure they will not lead you. But take heart, kinsman, for you have found good home here in the sepulchre. There are many truths in these halls, old secrets, secrets that the gods do not yet want us to know. Things that our dear parents wish to withhold from us.
Bored parents will remember, oh yeah, Freya's missing, and look around for a second, but then return his attention to this weird gentleman. Hey, I suppose there are probably secrets like that out there. What good have they done you, though?
Oh, they have opened my eyes to the truth of this world that we live in. And he rubs the patch. Opened my eyes far wider than I thought possible. Would you like to see?
Not this day.
Man, here I was hoping Tasco was going to become a psycho cleric.
If you start to like step back, he reaches out and he grabs your wrist with like alarming strength and suddenness. He goes, I couldn't have it on the conscience. One of my kinsmen wandering around here being so deceived and led astray. Please, brother, let me show you the truth. Let me show you what I have found.
First, I must find my kinsmen. They were in pursuit of some others.
The truth cannot wait. It must be shown. And it must be shown now. We do not know if the stars will align so perfectly again.
Kind of try to slap his grip off and say, the truth will tend to itself, and it will abide.
Oh, you managed to slap him off. The strength he may have faded as he crumbles on the ground. Oh, you're deceived far deeper than I thought, brother. I shall hope that you will know the truth before it is not too late. I do so pray that we meet again. As he kind of like starts crawling away, not breaking eye contact.
Regard him kind of coldly for a few seconds and then turn to try and catch up to the rest, whom I assume are well out of sight by now.
You managed to find Fergus and Jiggles and the cohorts.
Yeah.
And they've gotten on those persuasions genuine like solid direction on which direction they went. With Jiggles is 24, judging by the description, it sounds like they're heading to the home of the disciples of Black Iron.
Well, with any luck, we won't start a holy war while we're down here.
Or an unholy war.
First one, then the other.
Meanwhile, back with Nilgrim and Freya.
I was gonna say I don't know, guys. I just read Dune. It might be too late.
You are led through some tunnels until you eventually get to a stone archway that looks like they have metal doors made out of like cobbled and hammered together scrap metal.
And you'd probably have to fight a dwarf to not look for a golden path.
And one of the cultists who led you here raises a hand out and slips out from underneath their robe, and you see that all their fingers around like the mid knuckle had been cut off and replaced with some sort of metal tool, like a stone chisel or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And knocks on the door in a easily rememberable rhythmic pattern that's clearly like a secret knock. And with a sound of very hinges that are in need of oiling and grinding metal that shoot up sparks, the doors begin to get pulled open from the inside. It is worth pointing out they pull inwards, so if they were meant to be defensive, they are very bad at it.
All right.
Once inside, you see a group of 3 cultists on each door, starting to push them closed behind you. And much to your alarm, the cultists leading you just drop their robes here. Everyone is completely naked under their robes, it turns out, and they are horrifying people that are apparently been putting metal and like bolts and stuff shoving into their bodies. One of them just has like a nail pressed into where their eye used to be.
So we found the Bronze Age Mechanicus.
Yeah, essentially, yes. And in this first hallway, which is a wide section, there are little impromptu altars made, and on each altar is metal objects, which you swiftly realize are like dwarven metalwork. Like a helmet here, an axe there, the metal parts out of a crossbow over there.
Hmm. All right.
Some of these cultists, though the 2 that led you here have the least metal parts on their body, but some of them are just like, they're just scrap piles. Honestly, they're probably going to die in a few days of just infections because they have to like tie it with rope to hold their bodies together. They're basically just been stabbing themselves. And all they do is seem that they just sit around these piles of metal.
And what races are represented among them?
No Derugar. Some of them are very hard to tell, but there's definitely deep gnomes, goblins, not really any kobolds, and certainly no drow. Though you do notice some lizard folk and a bugbear or 2.
All right. I don't know. Sound like pretty hardy crewmates. If they didn't stab themselves, we could stop them from doing that.
Come, Harold. The speaker of Black Iron is through the end of the hall here.
All right, let's go. Come on, Nolgrim.
Mm-hmm. Nolgrim is resisting the urge to cast Armor of Agathis on himself, feeling particularly like not wanting to be touched by these people.
Mm-hmm. They lead you into a next room that's got a domed ceiling. And it's, to be clear, this is clearly some kind of ruin that was pre-existing that they chose to inhabit. They definitely didn't make this.
Yes, okay.
Most of the ruins down here in the Suckle Sepulchre seem to be like that. They look like they've had like metal, what are they called? Pittons, those things that you use for mountain climbing. That they've hammered into the stone dome overhead, and they have like strings and ropes dangling down with all manner of like just weird metal knickknacks. the jingle and clang as you walk through them. A small congregation of horrible, naked scrap metal people start to like prostrating themselves as you come past. How are you guys feeling during all this?
Grateful
Very-
I'm medically sealed.
Very exposed and uneasy about everything he's seen.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, the jingling of the metal that you're walking through gives way to a section where it looks like they kind of like knocked down the wall, but then they turned it into the naked rock behind it and they were smoothing it out. There's the sound of grinding as you see one figure that is a lizard folk is almost flattened up against the wall. Lizard folk don't have like troll level regeneration, but they are like lizard people, so they are able to heal pretty well. And this fellow seems to have survived having a lot more metal tools implanted in his body than most. As he is working with his fingers into the wall and carving some kind of mural. The mural is, Freya, to your eyes, it's very clearly depicting a golem of some kind. It doesn't have the typical dwarven design. Like, you may have animated a statue, but dwarves like to make golems that kind of look like big rock dwarves. That's pretty standard.
Mm.
This one looks more, it looks a little taller. I mean, you don't have scale or anything like that, but it's more like someone in a suit of armor, I guess you could say. And this person seems to be currently carving like some kind of like filigree, fiery aura around it that makes you feel very uneasy. And he eventually stops as you rumble up. And as you turn back, you see this lizard folk. His scales were already black, as you can caught in the candlelight here. One of his eyes is missing with just like a metal plate where that was. And his teeth have all been replaced with shards of rusted metal that give him like this jagged, horrible Five Nights at Freddy's mouth. See, you know what I'm thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
And he raises his hands over his head and says, "Praise be, the herald have come to the disciples of Black Iron, as was foretold." And then just like the entire room around you, as was foretold. All eyes are on you right now. And he says,
Oh, go ahead.
"I humbly prostrate myself before you. What name I had in the forest times was unimportant. I am now known as the Speaker for Black Iron." You can go ahead if you had anything to say.
I'm still trying to figure out if asking too many questions is going to get us in trouble.
You can do an insight.
Can I roll that if I don't have it?
Yeah, you can roll it. You just don't get your proficiency bonus. Skills in 5th edition work as in that if you could...
Well,
yeah, I think Freya's as lost as you feel right now.
Well, let me try.
What's the right course of action?
Bergen, nudge, nudge, nudge. Say, I think you could be our question asking guy.
Yeah, Nolgrim and Freya are the only ones here currently. Fergus.
Yeah. I'm not there, otherwise I
Yeah.
would be helping.
I-
But
Nolgrim, on a 15, you kind of are getting the impression of like everyone's caught up in like some kind of religious rapture. So long as you're not outwardly disagreeing with them, you can probably establish some basic things without it turning into a sacrifice situation.
Yeah. So Nolgr will just kind of lean in and whisper, "Just go with it. I think they'll follow your lead to some extent." And Nolgr, as once he finishes that, he's going to pull out the Copycat journal, just write, let the others know where they're at, and just kind of give a rough description of how the path they took to get here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A lawful good. I'm going to just ask actual questions I'm curious about.
Go ahead.
I will say, he said that his name was the Speaker of the Black, what?
Iron.
The Iron?
Speaker of the Black Iron.
I will say, dear Speaker, I do not deny that I might be this herald, but I'm afraid I myself have not heard of any prophecy.
Of course, it would be an honor to educate the herald in the way. Long ago, before the times of this cult, there was a glorious heaven deep within the dark earth, touching the overceiling, the roof beyond the roof of the Underdark. In this city, a great many metal marvels was wrought, but none more spectacular than the Black Iron. The entire room goes, the Black Iron. If you guys have seen Hot Fuzz, you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And of the creations of the Black Iron, there was none more defines in the mights than the Deliverer. And gestures towards the mural that he was carving.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I place metals into my body, I have a vision of it, of this haven of forges wreathed in black flame, and the Deliverer guarding it. We humble followers of the ways of the Black Iron place metals into our bodies to bring us closer to such immortality. But in my visions, I have seen it. That one who bears skin of stone shall opens the way into the lost and forgotten city from where the Black Iron hails, and lead us into that most metallic promised land. And here you are. I will let you know this, that if you guys remember from the sizzle page of this Roll20 game, that the only report of what happened to Dammerhall was black fire coming from the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So these guys are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but they also want to get to Dammerhall like us.
You're saying guys, but I'm pretty sure you're still talking to Nolgrim.
Yeah.
Think she meant the cultists.
Guys, as in
Yeah. The
crazy.
cultists,
Yeah.
Okay. I misheard.
So it could be useful, but I'm just thinking. Then I will say, yes, I do know of the city you speak of, and indeed I have come to reclaim it. That much is very true.
Everyone is very excited, you can tell.
But in order to do so, me and my fellow companions, one of which is here with me now, need use of a vessel strong enough to cross the sea.
Of course, and of course, you would need to be seeing the Black Iron yourself. Of course, we only have a small part, but it is yours if you wield it, Harold.
So Freya just got a colt.
Look, they at least seem to like metal, so let's see if they can take the metal out of their bodies and build a ship with it. Yes, let me see this piece of the black iron.
Mm-hmm. The speaker speaks up, brings forth the shard of divinity, the black iron, and then the entire place goes, the black iron. And I would say probably that last chant. Essentially that too. Those of you had just arrived on the other side of the metal door, and you hear the echo of the black iron from behind the doors. So that's how you know you found the right place.
Like we got that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't sound good.
This is the cult? We're not a cult, we're a family. Yes, this is the player place.
Someone want to open the door for me as I kind of fiddle with my invisibility ring?
Iago goes, if it's all the same, I think I'll watch our exit on the hallway.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go invisible and just start heading toward the door.
Okay.
Yep, Jigless will open it. He understands invisibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're gonna shoulder the door open?
Yeah, this is a little heavier than it looks as he stares at the giant metal door.
Mm-hmm.
Want to give me a hand there, old guy?
Miku can help as well, and between the three of you, you're able to shove one door open without too much work. No rolls necessary.
Actually, I forgot. Jigless is damn strong.
Yeah. You're not weak, but those are heavy metal doors. It was going to take more than one person either way.
And I'm going to sneak my way in. Tap, 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 tap at the feet.
Give me a stealth at advantage. Even if you weren't invisible, they're kind of occupied at the moment. Oh, yeah. You're a ghost shadow.
Would say I'd try to hide my holy symbol, but as is my tradition, it's embossed on my shield, so...
Yeah. The rest of you going into?
Yeah.
So you see the people as I described before.
Mm-hmm.
They're all kind of currently congregated around Nulgrim and Freya, all having their backs to you. They're kind of doing a chanting as it looks like a chest is being lowered on chains from the ceiling.
Does it look like Nulgrim and Freya are like in danger or being like held there or like anything?
No, but I imagine Nulgrim looks uncomfortable. Freya is a statue.
Yes. Because I'm not gonna lie, I think while this is happening, I want to have Fergus start trying to investigate the rest of the place while it's all kind of congregated into one location.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seems the best option to like kind of snoop around is when everyone's distracted by a large ceremony.
You can slip down.
Find the dorms, check in the table between the beds, and steal their Bible.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm going to look for like a religious text to see how crazy these fucking people are. But I'm also looking for things they might have like hidden away that we probably should know about. See how dangerous they are. And
yeah, you slip down a side corridor from the like basilica room where everyone else currently is. Your 22 stealth and invisibility is going to carry you past everything. Pretty much the entire cult is in that other room. You're invisible. You're stealthy. It's loud. You're good. You got the run of the place. There is several rooms that are like impromptu dormitories, but they're a little better than just like some like wooden planks or blankets thrown across the ground. Lots of old bloodstain. You find a truly distressing room where they implant the metal things in themselves, which is a lovely space filled with lots of dried, bloody instruments, rusty scrap metal, various bits and bobs, and several meat hooks suspended from the ceiling. You do, however, eventually come to a room that has a metal door that looks like it is locked.
Okay, I'm gonna bust out my thieves' tools.
Yep.
I imagine I'm using my dexterity for it.
Yes.
Don't fuck me.
Yep.
16.
That's good. It was only a DC 12.
I'm like,
So
this is what I roll one.
Hey, at least you got a 1 on the other thing.
Right.
On the 1d4.
Yeah.
So yeah, you pull out your tools and you pop it open. In it's a small room. There's a few shelves with some jars on it that you think might be dried foodstuffs, but in the center of the room there are 4 like 2 foot by 2 foot wooden crates.
Mm-hmm. Well, out of just paranoia, since it doesn't break my stealth, I'm going to mage armor up just in case.
Of course.
And I am going to examine the crates if you want to do that now or you want to jump back to the others while this is happening.
Let's just get the crates done now.
Yeah.
All right. So you're just gonna pop it open?
I'm going to examine it for any kind of traps or things that might be alerting if I open them before I do.
Investigation. Nope, they are just straight wooden crates.
Gotcha. Then yes, I will open them up.
All right. You open up one of them, and inside you see, in there like these little like wooden holding racks. They kind of look not too dissimilar from the guns that Iago uses, but they're more definitely structured after hand crossbows. But the bow par is removed, and there is like a brass pipe. And there are 6 of them in this first crate, like little handguns. And there's a small like wooden jewelry box set in there as well.
Do I carry over my investigation for traps, or do you want me to re-roll?
Yeah, no, it's a natural 20. It rolls forward.
Okay. Definitely gonna grab the jewelry box.
Yeah. Do you look inside, or you just snatch it?
I'm just gonna snatch it for right now.
All right.
I'm also gonna snatch a couple of those crossbows.
All right.
And then move to another crate.
All right. If you open up a second crate, you will find that there is another 6 of those little hand shooters,
Mm-hmm.
and another jewelry box.
Just gonna grab the jewelry box, not the hand shooter though.
All right. If you open up the other 2 crates, one more has filled with hand ones, and then the last one has 4 longer versions, the size of a crossbow that's like a rifle.
Okay. I'm not gonna take those.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna take the 2 jewelry boxes and the 2 hand shooters.
Mm-hmm. Then do you reseal the crates?
Yes. The only other thing I was gonna look for is like whoever's like the leader of this cult, like his bed chambers. See if I can find that.
If he does have a specific place to sleep, it would be in the common room, and you haven't found anything there. You might, if you want to go into those spaces and search them more, you can, but I'll jump back to the others.
Yeah, go ahead and jump back to the others right now while I think about it.
Mm-hmm. So, I'll say while this chest is being lowered from the ceiling to the chanting, Nilgrim, you notice Jigless, Taskell, and Ivy at the back of the room. You can't get to them because there's a crowd of crazies between you and them, but you see them.
Nilgrim just look back, give that like a uneasy, but that sort of smile. It's like this is I'm out of my element, but things are going okay, and just kind of give them that sort of thumbs up.
Looks like they're making friends.
Or at least haven't made enemies yet.
I think I'm going to stay back here. Let's just observe for a while.
Forget all their earthly possessions.
Too bad it's all lodged inside their body. So the chest lowered from the ceiling. and eventually comes to a stop as the chanting comes to its close, and the speaker steps up, and he pulls a key from like a pocket that he's carved into his chest, and he puts the key into the lock where you hear the tumblers go, and he swings the chest open, and this chest is clearly the nicest and most fortified thing they have in this cult, because inside there is like a velvet pillow, and resting on the velvet pillow is what looks like a finger of a plate mail gauntlet, and it is made out of this metal that is the darkest, most pitch black metal that you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Uh,
giving you the finger.
Nolgrim, could you give me a Constitution saving throw real quick?
Okay.
Oh no, it's a stinky finger.
Oh, God.
Oh god.
You immediately feel overwhelmingly nauseous. It's just like a wave of it comes over you. I'm not going to make you throw up or anything, but you just
Yeah.
feel it.
I imagine Nolgrim will kind of waver a bit and put his hand on Freya's armored mech
But
to steady himself.
It passes in just a moment, but it was the initial thing that hit you.
Is there anything I could do to kind of give an idea of what about it might have caused that reaction, or what it is?
Oh no, it's kind of an unknown territory right now
Okay.
for you. The speaker then turns to Freya and goes, "Behold the dark iron, the black iron. A small piece, I am sure, of the wonders of the lost city of forges."
hmm.
Very well. I have someone who's just arrived. Looking back to the back of the crowd.
You turn your suit around, and it's that thing where you hear the sound of every head and the clanking of it all turn and look directly at the three new arrivals. Just whoosh.
Bring them forward so they may also take a look.
Lots of scrap metally hands coming out towards you guys.
Oh, no hands, no hands. We got it.
Yep. You come up through the crowd. They're allowing you through. You're definitely not getting the religious fervor appreciation that Freya was getting. Definitely a few more suspicious glances. And you step up to the front of the crowd, and you see the black iron. And
By this thing.
Taskell,
Mhm.
you know what this thing is. It sends a chill down your spine just looking at it as you break out into a cold sweat. It's something that shouldn't exist outside of legends.
Mm. Okay.
I mean,
Legend.
oh, sorry. It's
The athletic D&D player.
I mean, that, I feel like, yeah,
it's a it looks like this dark metal is Amorite. Remember that thing that we
Right.
had to discuss in the
yes, I
side
wasn't
chat?
sure if that was a different legend or not, but yes.
Yeah.
Mm. That's not good.
So I missed a couple seconds there. Like my internet had a hiccup. Last thing I heard was something about a legend. I don't remember anything else.
I'm referencing a side conversation that Kenneth, Loki, and I had in a Skype chat.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
I just glad I didn't the hiccup didn't make me miss too much.
Yep.
All right.
But-
Well, so it looks like a gauntlet, like a dwarf-sized gauntlet.
Yeah, it's definitely a dwarf-sized gauntlet, but it's not the entire thing. It's just a finger off the gauntlet.
Got it.
as you gaze into this metal, realizing what it is, Taskell, you could almost swear that you see motion beneath its black metal surface. And just at like the tingly backs of your mind, you almost hear like the sound of whispering as you gaze upon it.
It is a legendary item, truly. Look around at the other two that
Youthful.
had been here before.
Oh,
Perhaps we need some time to consult with the. Because I don't think we've heard them called in the Herald or whatever.
Yeah. But you can definitely do like the thing where you're like the consult with the and you give the help me out here look to Freya and Milgram.
Harold.
The blessed personages before you.
Mm-hmm. The speaker says again, Of course. Come, sojourns, to the Hall of Artifacts that you have come through before, and you can speak amongst yourselves. As for what the Herald was speaking of before, was you needing a ship. We, the disciples of the Black Iron, do not have a ship ourselves, but we were already in the process of delivering items to the unbelievers known as the crafters above. If you wish to deliver these items, you will take all the coin they were offering us in our stead, of course.
I'll fill everyone in, telling the rest of them that they also seek to find our lost city. And they believe me, who they call the Herald, to be key in doing such a thing, which is why they're so willing to help. So
you don't look under the skin of a free meal.
I'm pretty okay with taking their money and getting a ship, gonna be honest.
Yeah, you guys are having like a side conversation, so you can murmur amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm kind of weirded out with these guys. I'm not sure how to progress. To be honest,
As far as they're looking for Dammerhall. We're looking for Dammerhall. We're on the same side right now. Yeah, they're a little weird, but
right. But my question is, do we know what happens when Dammerhall is found? And I'm trying to remember what you mentioned about that. So you said I knew nothing about that that dark iron thingy held up her.
Yeah, I mean, you can give me a harder history check, I suppose. Yeah. You were involved in the side chat as well, but it's not as is covered in your training as it would be in Haskell. Okay. It kind of reminds you in the legendary descriptions of the fabled metal of umberite, which is associated with a very nasty dwarven legend about the first child of Father Mountain and Mother Fire meeting a rather gruesome end after forging an armor of umberite.
I gotcha.
So you recognize it now too?
I had nearly left me on my ass when I first caught a glimpse of it. Something about that just left me uneasy. I don't know. It seems too easy, I got to say.
I mean,
if it is the armor of the first, I'm curious but deeply afraid of where they might have gotten it from.
I'm not entirely certain what it is, but I know it's dwarven in make and very powerful, so I think it best lay in our hands to protect.
But yeah, if I would make it back in time while they're discussing this, by the way, I have something I would interject with, so I wanted to.
Well, how do you integrate yourself in the group? Because the cult never saw you, so appearing out of thin air is gonna.
Oh, I'm not going to reveal myself. I'm just going to go up to him and speak to him.
Yeah, just whisper.
Guys, I just stole a bunch of their shit. We need to get the fuck out of here. That's all you hear me say.
Well, they've offered to let us take it and sell it.
Fuck.
If it's the same thing.
No, I think they're coming back to market, like with this, like they're selling stuff to market, and they're going to give us that money. I think that's what they said, right?
They said that they have items that they made that you're going to deliver to the crafters, and then the crafters were going to pay for it. They were originally going to pay the cult, but if you take the items to the crafters, then you'll just get all the money. The cult won't take a cut. You're their messiah. They're not going to ask for a percentage.
Yeah. Fergus, go put that shit back. They were just about to give it to us.
Fuck, I just dashed back.
That was amazing.
And then I return the stuff to the crates.
I know it's not my dealing, whatever y'all have with the finger, but I will say the undying loyalty of a people down here that you don't have to pay and you can trust to give their lives for you can go a really long way.
Also, slightly disturbed by something that we met along the way. A surface dwarf, but he appears to be buying into one of these groups' narratives. Of course, everyone was spitting the word deceived at me as we followed after you, but having a minor bit of crisis of faith in character.
Yeah, what a day for Taskell.
As far as our next plan, I think we take them up on their offer and we stick with them as long as their goals align with ours and we don't ask too many questions. To be fair, all we've seen them do is try to help us.
That is true.
They're a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, or whatever the D&D equivalent of Cocoa Puffs is. Cuckoo for, what are those? Yeah.
Halfling cocoa orbs.
Or those, what are they called? Fucking Cocoa Demons or whatever.
Oh, cacodemons.
Yeah.
Cuckoo for cacodemons.
Cacao demons.
But like, who isn't down here?
Hey.
Hey?
Yeah?
Not crazy.
Cut
Not
out.
cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
Anyways,
They are.
but I'm willing to hear out anyone else, so.
I swear to God, if I put the stuff back and I come back, never mind, we're going to rob them.
Something I have to know. I'll start walking off towards the lizard in charge. How did you lot come about this shard of the black iron? Assume this is all an undercommonish.
Yeah, that's the assumption here. I was blessed. I was once a heathen pirate, like the ones above, trawling the oceans of the sunless sea for treasure. I found the black iron, drifting in ruins upon the water. And I knew that I had found a shard of divinity itself.
It is related to a god, yes. I must. I shall go return to the Herald with that news. Mm. It is definitely concerning. I think after that, I'm just going to clam up till we get back to wherever we're spending the night.
Mhm.
And hey, I mean, it's not like they have to be our crew, right? Jiglets, you still have inroads for us.
I do. I can always flush those out.
So it's not even like we have to bring them to Dammerhall. Though I got to admit it, I feel kind of bad about the trickery.
Fergus,
In what
you
way
go
are you
back.
tricking them?
Well, clearly I imagine they want to find the lost city so they can go there, right?
Okay, I put the stuff back. So you can tell them we're ready to take the stuff and get it sold.
So I said my plan, and then no one objected to it. So I think that's what we're going with.
Did they say they wanted to go to the Lost City?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I'm
cautious
personally more
about this.
comfortable with a crew full of pirates than I am these people who, are undyingly devoted to you.
Cool. Then you can call me Captain. All right.
I'm definitely cautious about these people. I mean, it is undeniably a dwarven artifact, but at the same time,
But at what
evil.
cost?
If it is dangerous, would it not be best kept with the dwarves who plan to take back their lost home?
Look
Curtis
over
is
at
like, I think I missed so much.
look over
Ivy,
at
who's been
Nolgrim,
here-
like,
Ivy speaks up on behalf of Freya and goes, I mean, these people do seem like they're a few shrooms short of a pie.
We really need to have you try a real pie one day.
Have I been eating fake pies?
Oh, you don't even know. We'll make a trade if we
clearly
ever
don't.
can trade with the surface. wait till you have apple. It'll blow your mind.
What's an apple?
That sounds terrible. It kills you?
Trees. A tree is like one of those big mushrooms we came across, but it's it's like a plant, not a fungus.
A tree is like a root, but with a tumor at the top.
I'm just like whispering. You know when you had that cheese that you really loved?
Yeah, it came from the
Think
cow's
of something like that, but better and a dessert.
Taskell, if you think it's best kept here, I will give in to your expertise, and we can let them keep it, at least for the time being. Though if it's a powerful artifact, I don't see much benefit in that course of action.
I'm honestly not sure at this time, daughter. At the moment, if they take it badly, I don't feel like we should be fighting them. So let us take what they've offered and discuss it more in private.
Taking them with us on our journey. I'm not sold on that idea entirely myself, though it would be a free source of crewmates.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I would feel kind of bad about going in with this whole story for them when they're also just looking for Dammerhall. Weird as they may be. I'm not saying they're not weird. But maybe we can get them to wear clothes.
So what's the play here, Herald of the Black Iron?
All right. I will. How big is the chest it's kept in? Is it like a normal sized chest?
Yeah, it's like a normal sized chest, so it's not unreasonable. You could easily pick it up in your suit. It is absurdly large for how small the object is by comparison.
All right. I will graciously accept their offering. And did anyone say anything about having them in the crew? Because if not, I'm just going to tell them they can come. lawful good. I'm not entirely sold on these guys.
I think we haven't decided yet, so maybe just tell them to stand
That
by.
was the time to decide, guys. I'm telling you right now because I'm either.
Well, then it's up to you. So
Okay.
I'm going to say anyone on a ship needs to pull their own weight because you're going to have to feed them.
If these guys fall into the water, they're going straight to the bottom.
This is true. Do they, Gombo, from what I've seen of them, do they look like they could hold an oar and pull it?
Some of them could, some of them maybe not. They might be able to work the cranks if you get a large enough ship with the paddles.
Okay.
I will tell them to. I will say we'll graciously accept your offerings.
Mm-hmm.
We will begin preparations for commissioning a ship, and tell them to gather the strongest among them.
The speaker takes a deep breath through his lizard folk nostrils and raises his voice to the entire room. The heralds shall lead us to the promised land, and everyone shouts. Says, we shall give you the items that were looking to be taken to the crafters, and if you believe it shall be helpful, the black iron, of course. But first, we must celebrate. Bring forth the latest of implements. Let a fresh implanting begin.
I should have just kept the goddamn items.
As they are bringing forth their freshly polished metal bits, as several people are coming to a line to have new metal parts installed in their body.
Harriet's going to get nipple rings.
More like nipple hooks.
Hey, they're just doing this themselves. Okay, I'm in a suit. I can close my eyes, close my ears, and then it'll be like nothing
It's
else.
true. You can just curl up inside your machine and eat some chicken noodle soup in there.
Surely the companions of the Herald will wish to purify themselves, make themselves more holy before the trips to the promised land.
Jiggles takes one step back.
It is not allowed.
I will say, my companions shall not be made to do what they are not comfortable with, of course. Correct?
Persuasion at advantage.
Whew, I got a 0 in that, guys.
Hey, it's advantage. Not a high DC.
I really want this to be low, honestly. I'm not going to lie.
All right. Come on, baby. Got to roll high sometime, right?
Mm-hmm. As I said, at advantage.
At advantage. 13, baby.
Truly, why would the Herald want such unmetallicized companions going through the hollowed halls of the Black Iron? They're not. It's
Because
more.
if my companions are unwilling and forced to undergo such a treatment, then they might not be as helpful to us in the future. All should come to any realization that all should come to these decisions themselves, not by force.
I see. There is wisdom in your words, Harold. We shall have a long trip across the sunless waves to convert them to the truth. I see. Wise you are, Harold. Wise. You rolled a 13 and you gave a pretty reasonable explanation using their own logic. I'll give that to you.
All right.
You were saying, Kenneth?
I was going to go for the angle of as dwarves we're the shapers of the metal. Ours is to improve it, not have it improve us. But they believe it. I think his angle worked better.
Also, aren't y'all all wearing metal armor?
That's not in your body, as you see some people literally having metal ingots hammered into their collarbone.
I'm just saying, you could go that route too. The warriors.
It's very unpleasant sounding in this room right now.
I worded it in such a way that we're not going to be bringing just a ship full of these guys. I said, bring your strongest.
Yeah. also, they have their own little wagon that they can load the 4 crates into. And I assume you don't want to stick around for their 3-hour metal implanting ritual?
No, I think we're gonna go sell this stuff. Get a head start.
Maybe next time.
Brain check.
Preparations must be made in quick haste.
And do you take the chest with the black iron finger?
Yeah, I will grab it.
Okay. The chest or the item within?
Both.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was checking. Put that on the cart. You get outside where Miku and Iago were standing guard. Because it's worth pointing out, because of how Miku's spores work, Iago can actually talk to Miku. Because it's always telepathic in your native tongue.
So I probably would have gone out a little bit earlier so my invisibility doesn't break while I'm in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they're just finishing up their stuff. Iago's like, I don't know. Now I kind of feel bad about maybe not going in there. They could have maybe used help. I just feel like I'm not useful in these social situations.
Oh, don't worry. I got some news for you.
And also, I'm a devout follower of the lady, like most Corsicanians, and somehow entering someone else's holy ground feels wrong. Like I need to confessional or something. And then like 10 minutes later, you hear the sound of metal being hammered into flesh and lots of cultists doing the equivalent of "it hurts so good." And he's like,
those people are
I made
fucking
the right
crazy.
call.
Oh, you went 100% made the right call. And then I started telling him about the crossbow guns and the bullets made of rubies and shit.
Mhm.
Hey, look, man, I'm
talking to him common, by the way. So it's
yeah. And Miku can use his spores to telepathically communicate with both of you. Where it's like you were describing what the cultists look like under the robe. And Miku was like, this is
the fuck
not interesting. What is the turn of phrase that
horrifying
you often use? Fucked up? Am I using that correctly in conversation?
Oh yeah, it is all fucked up.
And that's around the time the rest of you come with little pull wagon. It would be hard to pull if Freya didn't have a big stone statue to drag it.
Mm-hmm.
Go sell.
I know we're near the end, but I actually need to take a quick bio anyway, so
Oh, good.
you can digest everything that just happened.
So I tried to do the most I could, lying the least amount that I could.
To be fair, if I was able to get there with Nolgrim and you, I was gonna try to be your hype man for the whole situation.
I was any lies that I told there, I think were mostly lies of omission. And again, to be fair, from what we've seen, these guys are just weirdos. Not like overly evil or harmful weirdos.
Over to themselves.
But I at least convinced them that forced fucking robotization is a bad idea.
Oh, the flesh is weak. Everyone else will figure out eventually.
Yeah, you guys.
They're not even roboticizing themselves. They're just like piercing.
Extreme piercing.
Yeah.
Extreme piercing, yeah.
I should just convince them to be like body mod bros. Bro, look at my gauges. You can apple through them.
I'm back.
Just talking about how we should get these guys to become body mod bros.
Become what?
Like the body mod people with like the gauges and all the.
Oh yeah.
The silicone implants in their skull to make it look like they have ridges.
Mm-hmm.
That is, yeah. I don't
The
know.
guy who removed his nose and his ring and pinky fingers from both hands.
I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, I'm not trying to judge people's choices.
Oh no, judge the people who remove their own fingers for decoration. 100%.
Like, I have been on the record to say if we ever get like some Deus Ex cyberpunk robot arms and stuff, I will be like the first to chop off my arm to get, pile driver fists. But not,
There's something so instinctively wrong about just cutting off a part of your body for no reason.
yeah.
You're going to enjoy Giant Slayer.
All right. Well,
I mean, have you seen from Warhammer Fantasy Scrag the Slaughterer? Here, let me just show you a picture of this lovely ogre chap, and then we'll get back to this. Let me see if I can't find a good image of him. Here we go. The concept art for Total War Warhammer 3. This will be perfect. I'll warn you that this art makes him look a little bit nicer than he is.
God, how does he go to the bathroom?
I don't know, and I don't think we want to know.
It's probably just a cake layer of mud below those pants.
It's not depicted. It's not depicted in this, but he's got meat hooks implanted in his back, so he can drag his cooking cauldron behind him everywhere he goes. It is horrifying.
So what you're saying is this is Cookie from our brief pirate campaign we did?
Yes. No. Most definitely. We will do something in Warhammer eventually with the ogres.
Extreme Cookie.
Yes.
this is level 20.
Cookie's final form.
Yeah.
Level 20.
Ogres, I'll just say ogres from Warhammer Fantasy and Age of Sigmar have the unique biological feature that muscle mass and body fat are the exact same thing. So the more they eat and the more weight they put on, the physically stronger they become. So their entire culture is around cooking and eating things.
Yep.
I like it.
All right. So we were taking this stuff out to market to sell it for gold.
Take it to the crafters.
Yeah, the crafters.
As you guys are going out into like the main atrium was the word I was looking for before. It's like a wide open room with lots of different cults. You're greeted by the sound of some shouting and the sound of sizzling as you see that the giant stone foot that like 5 people were worshipping has had a bunch of acid dumped on it, and it's now melting. And there is a collection of like 12 people in amber robes standing in front of the crowd, and that the 6 people that are worshiping the foot are now bowing before them. And the people in the amber robes are like, repent from your unclean ways, embrace the truth that is brought by the Namer, learn the way, join us, earn a true name. That's going on. You can slip past it, but that's just what's happening.
Always a new religion.
Hey, people seem taken by many different flavors of madness down here.
That's what you call religion?
Ivy speaks up. I think I might have actually preferred all the thieves and killers and pirates up above over this place.
Yeah, many shades of those rooms we ran into when we were invading the Drow Fortress, to be sure.
Speaking of Jiggles, I told them to only gather their strongest come with us, which I imagine won't be too many of them, so we'll probably still need your help finding a sizable enough crew.
Indeed. Did you say strongest physically or strongest in their religion?
I said strongest. But I assume we'll get a hold of them when we see them the next time, who they've gathered.
All right. I can take care of that, but let's see how much cash you get to know how big a boat we get, to know how big a crew you need.
Yeah, let's
This
see.
is going to be like $20, I swear to God. In character.
We should definitely look and see what's in those crates.
I relay what was in the crates. There's just some like crossbow guns. There's like some large rifle-looking kind of bow guns. They have bullets that seem to be made of rubies. I'm not sure if that really connects anything mentally for any of you, but that seems a little odd.
Do we
Indeed.
know?
No,
Do we-
you could always
Are bullets?
do.
Are guns coming down here?
No, not at all. That's all crazy new stuff to you. Anyone can cast Identify on them, or could give me, I guess, a Tinker's Tools or Arcana check if you're versed in Artifice.
I mean, I think two of you have Identify as a subclass feature, don't you? So you
Yeah.
guys can just take 10 minutes and do that.
If you just want to ritual cast it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't take a spell
probably got
slot.
at least 10 minutes.
Just find a place to kind of pop the crate open and show them the ruby bullets and such.
All right. So here is the hand ones. I have a separate handout for the rifle looking ones, but it's basically the same thing, just scaled up. If you guys look, it's a Gemlock hand shooter.
Gotcha.
Well, look, we need to sell this stuff off to get a ship, guys. It's not like we can keep this.
Good to know what we're selling in case it's gonna fuck us later. But yeah, let's see. We were gonna sell it whether I stole it or not anyway. So. So yes, to the merchants.
Yep. It looks like these things are a combination of dwarven runes, but also like that gnomish like gem powered technology that you guys have been running into. The shattering of the gem to just unleash its latent power in one solid burst is a crude application, but it does work.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of gnomes, have we seen many deep gnomes around here, or is it largely been like?
There's a few deep gnomes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they were like mysteriously absent compared to like a lot of the more obscure monstrous races.
Nope, deep gnomes are here too.
Presumably, these 16 rubies are the 3d8 plus dex version.
And here, I'll just show you the rifle one. And the rifle one has its own little jewelry box that is filled with 5 diamond bullets. The Gemlock Long Blaster is the rifle version. I mean, unless you guys think you can get a better price somewhere else.
Sounds like no.
That's a lot more damage, but well, not really a lot more damage. 2 more damage dice for double the price.
And longer range.
Yeah.
It's expensive ammo.
Yeah, I would say we just go sell it.
All right. You guys
Yeah.
make your way out of the Sunken Sepulchre, and you begin heading your way to Crafter territory.
Now let's see if we get.
I'm going
Also-
to, as we're passing by, look for a guy who a gem person that can swap out the emeralds for diamonds for.
Yeah, so as Jiggles can tell you, the crafters are based out of 5 here, the Berth, where they make ships. Gem salesman would definitely be in 3 in the overmarket. So if you want to divide and conquer, you can do that.
No, I think we should stick together.
Yeah, we'll just hit that place afterwards.
Mhm.
We can go sell this stuff first. First day probably shouldn't split up yet.
Yep. You arrived at the Berth, and you see some bugbears and Drugar thugs hanging out that have the trappings of the crafters. As you come up to one of their bases of operation, one of the bugbears speak up. Oi, what you want?
Jigless would raise a hand and say, "Greetings, my friend. We're looking for..." Now, he's neutral with this group, so would he
Yes.
know who the head of the crafters are?
Head is a difficult thing, but you can probably give me a retroactive persuasion to see if you know a like a major figure.
Okay.
Someone who handles a lot of outreach and stuff like that is a Darugar named Karagornson.
We're here with a shipment for Karagornson.
The bugbear looks at the Drugar, who just crosses his arm and kind of gives the "nah, why not?" And he goes, "Right, wait here." Goes off. Got like an awkward 10 minutes of waiting before a kind of older, beaten up looking Darugar. Definitely someone who looks like he's perpetually used to scowling, but upon seeing surface dwarves, the scowl gets even deeper. He's got like a woodworker's apron with tools and everything like that. He goes, so those crazies are sending someone else now, huh? Would be grateful under the circumstances. You got the stuff or what?
We do. You got the payment? And I assume you're going to want to inspect it.
Yeah, merchandise first. He pops open the crate, pulls out one of the hand shooters, examines, looks it over, cocks back little hammer, points it right at Nilgrim, and just goes click because he didn't put a gem in there. Yeah.
Food.
I hear it's bad for you to dry fire it like that.
Puts it back in the crate. Those disciples of whatever. They're a few bits short of sane, but they can do good work when properly motivated. I
They're
would ask
single-minded,
you.
those.
I would ask if you're going to make sure that they're getting their cut of the payment, as one of his boys is handing them a sack. But truthfully, that's between you and them, and I don't care. If you killed them all and took these, I don't care. I just get what I want. And he passes you a large pouch of coins.
How much was the payment anyway?
Count it yourself.
Is there a way I can like insight to see if he's trying to rip us off?
Sure, insight.
Yeah, let's get out to that.
Oh, forget the +3, but it's just 12.
Well, we got what we got.
Yeah. He seems on level.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to me like this guy. Seems to me like he's mostly business. He probably had this pack of coins ready before we even got here.
Take the coins and probably count them, see what we got.
Oh, Taskell.
You got 2,000 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice chunk towards your goals of buying a ship right there.
Indubitably.
Well, I don't think this will buy us a ship out, right? But definitely help.
No, how much was a one bow again?
6,000?
A one bow would be about 6,000.
And what's the smallest that's a paddle boat, like a crank steerer?
A one bow is, but most of the time one bows don't tend to leave the Sunless Sea too much, as it's hard to keep enough supplies to repair it if you run into something like a bitter whale. Because something that I didn't roll to show you guys was every moment that whale was in contact in the area of the Bonnie Diamond, the ship was slowly dissolving. They were actually repairing it below deck. So you can totally do a one bow and take that out. You'll have a smaller crew with smaller reserves, but you'll be able to get by. Generally speaking, bigger ships, more weapons, more hull strength. It's safer against bigger beasties, but
Maybe we start with the one bow, run into that damn captain again, and take his ship once and for all.
I mean, if we have a one bow and he has, I think, a more well-trained crew than we're going to start with, so.
I'm not saying right away.
But Don't worry, I want to set fire to his boat while he watches. So we'll get to that someday.
I
No.
can't wait to hear the stories of what you all do to him. while I'm
Imagine
not
how-
around.
If we're not going to kill him, imagine how it would kill him to know that his boat's out there sailing and he's not the captain. I don't know. Something seems real sweet about that to me.
We can talk about all the revenge porn we want later, but let's go take care of some stuff while we still have. God, I can't even say daylight here. Time before we're tired.
Heading to the overmarket.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
And you're looking for a jewel seller.
A jewel seller and also someone we might be able to unload those crystals for.
Okay.
They're like salt crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to trust Jiggles' opinion because the one he found ripped him off really soundly.
Yeah, he hasn't, since he learned that he got ripped off, he hasn't offered to sell anything for y'all.
Rocky, that bastard.
Give me a persuasion.
Can I
It's
aid
just flat
him?
roll, right?
This is just a flat roll to see who you meet. I've got like a whole table thing, so it's not
Again,
really up.
forget the +1. I forgot to unclick that. I'm doing it now.
Mhm.
So that's still 26, though.
Yeah, you find a little walk-in stand where the top of it is covered with like a rug, so it's a little interior section lined with different gemstones and rock and such like that. There's some like a little backroom tent area where you hear some rustling around in, and as you're looking about, Jigless, you see in one of the bins for sale, there's a sign that says salt, fresh, and there's just salt in there, and you recognize a chunk of it. And coming up from behind is a lizard folk, but he's got like a fake beard on. He goes, "Yes, welcome to Nako's Rocks. How can I be of assistance?"
I just look over to Jiggles. Is this the guy?
Yeah, you're going to want to buy what's left in there.
It's also worth pointing out when you realize what that is, you guys had a flawless salt diamond and he smashed it into salt. How can I be of assistance to you on this fine dock?
We're looking to swap out some emeralds for some diamonds, as well as sell a flawless salt crystal.
You're not going to want to sell it to him.
Hush, hush, hush.
There's only so many inns I can sell fresh salt to. The price will not be high. But if you're looking for diamonds, I have that. Fergus, give me an insight.
23.
So, good news. If Jiggles mentions that this is the guy that he sold the salt diamond to, Jiggles actually did not get ripped off by this guy. This guy's a fucking moron. He didn't know it was valuable. He thought it was just salt.
Gotcha.
Well,
So
now it is just salt.
with
Yeah.
knowing that, I want to try to give him the runaround and get more value of diamonds than I have for emeralds then.
Okay, so this will be a persuasion. Just for fun, what's the angle of the argument? And I'm going to see if you get advantage on this or not.
Okay, so I'm looking over the gemstones. And he just doesn't seem very bright at all, correct?
He's that type of you ever met someone that knows nothing about a certain topic but is convinced they're the expert?
Mm-hmm.
It's that type of thing. He's not an idiot about everything. He's certain he's got this whole geology thing on lockdown, and he just really does not know.
So I'm gonna start like grabbing some different things and like this looks good. No, I'm gonna put it back and kind of like doing like that a lot of hand like kind of like sleight of hand, like not like even sleight of hand, but just like passing things back and forth to kind of get his eyes trained on it. And like these diamonds are nice, but I can also use some nice quartz and like or whatever gem that kind of looks like a very cheap version of like a diamond or something.
Yeah, cubic zirconia.
But actually grab the diamonds to put in the pile.
Yep.
So he thinks that I'm just putting cheaper rocks into the pile.
Okay, so I will let you substitute your persuasion for a sleight of hand on this one.
Okay, that's wasn't what I was trying to do, but my persuasion.
I would give it to you at advantage. If you
plus 4 versus a plus 9, though.
Okay.
What about a deception?
Oh, or a deception. Yeah. I would take a deception there.
Yeah, I have a plus 9 deception. I was trying to go for a deception. Is what I was trying to go for.
Yeah, by all means. Roll a deception. I'm going to lower the DC a little bit rather than giving you advantage.
If I pick up on it, can I come in and be like, no, not those two. Here, put those two instead and aid him?
Yes. You can do the help action and give him advantage on this deception.
All right, I'll do that.
So what the rest of you see is Fergus and Jigless go from shopping and haggling to full on doing one of those street hustles of like spot the lady with like the cards or putting the ball underneath the cup and mixing it around.
Yeah, we do like an impromptu juggling act where I just toss a couple rocks to him and he tosses some other ones back to me.
So
these would be good juggling diamonds.
So you can swap out your rubies and you can take double the value in diamonds by mixing them in there with some cubic zirconium.
Gotcha.
Which look a lot like diamonds, but are not.
So we have 600 gold worth of diamonds now, which is 2 revivifiers.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing as he is an idiot, I'm just gonna ignore the salt crystals because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get him to sell 2,000 gold worth of product to us for the salt crystals after he's already bought one for like nothing.
Yeah, because he thinks it's just salt, which is helpful. Hence why he paid in gold coins, not like silver or something like that.
Yeah.
Salt is nice.
Salt is very. Salt is very accessible, or not accessible, needed for like curing and stuff. So it's worth quite a bit back then.
Yeah. So he paid Jigless quite a few in gold coins, which is not like it was just pretty good walking around.
If it was just salt, it probably wouldn't have been a bad deal. Mm-hmm. But since it was actually such a valuable crystal, it's a little different.
And Jigless didn't know either. But now, are there any chunks sizable enough to be worth more than salt as salt crystals?
No.
Okay.
The beauty of the flawless salt diamond was that it was made of salt, but the geological formation, it was like as clear as glass. It
had refraction and stuff.
Yeah, it was impossibly good.
But yes, your name was Z Frank or something. I don't know. It was great doing business with you.
Nako the rock seller. Different than Rocco the rock seller. Though I hear he gives very good prices.
Oh yes, I think I've met your brother Brocco.
No.
All right, take care, Rocco.
You too, Stiglitz.
That was good.
We just leave. I just practically don't even whisper. I'm like, this guy was an idiot.
And then Ivy, I don't know, kind of adorable once you realize, though.
Oh no, he was fine in personability, but he does not know shit about rocks.
I mean, take away the malicious. If once you realize it's not malicious intent.
Fair.
He means well. I still apologize for losing that valuable rock you guys had. I had no idea.
It's fine.
I'll make it up to you.
We weren't sold to a cult to be used as, I don't know, fertilizer or whatever the cult was going to do with us.
I probably
So.
just was stuck stuff in y'all.
Yes, that's much better.
See, my worth grows more every day.
All right.
I'm still not convinced you're just using us as bodyguards. So
I had no idea that would become what y'all are, but it's very useful to keep y'all around. And y'all destroyed that whole group of kobolds before I even had my rapier drawn.
Just so you know, Jiggles, like we're going to a hidden dwarven city. That's where you want to go.
If you're inviting me, I would definitely be along for the ride. Nolgrim has already shared all about your trip so far and your destination. You're going to need someone to help you navigate through. I am really tired of being here.
Well,
I don't know
navigation
if
for
the
the sea would
charms-
probably be good, but after the sea, I don't. You say you haven't really left the waters, so once we actually get out of there, navigating for us won't really be much of a thing
I'm just
anymore
saying,
after that.
you're gonna be a little bit out of your element in the stony
Can you
mountain.
survive without water? Like not like without drinking water, but without swimming?
That's a fair question. Yes, I can. I can self-hydrate just like you can by drinking
Yeah.
water. I don't have to lay in it like a fish person. And he
In
learns
my
its
past,
Askel.
I met some merfolk and stuff, and they were out of water too long. They started flopping around like dead fish, so I just assumed.
I
Yeah.
understand. That's a reasonable question. I'm not a fish people.
I just wanted to warn you, you're gonna be a little bit of a fish out of water, but
Man, this is never going to get old, is it?
Kind of like dwarfs in the sea.
Hey, at least I'm
Anyway,
a dwarf that knows how to swim.
Wait, what?
that's
There are dwarves
impossible.
that don't know how to swim?
That's impossible. The center of gravity doesn't allow it.
Oh yeah,
Hold on,
before
you
you
don't
met
all
us, we
know how
lost
to
one that
swim?
just sunk like a stone.
Ivy says too soon.
We don't
Is
know
it-
he's dead.
Is it really?
We don't know he's dead.
Yes.
Maybe it is too soon, but he was literally made of rock, Jigless. It was nutty.
Where did y'all lose him?
I know. I point out to the water somewhere out there.
Several hours before we met up with the pirates.
Yeah, he's dead. I'm sorry for your loss. If any of you go over, you're probably dead too if you don't know how to swim. Even more reason to have me along. I can help you get a boat, I can help you get a crew, and I can help you navigate, but we'll need other navigators as well. I can help steer the boat. Do any of you know how to pilot a ship?
Yes.
I'm best at lookout, so that's generally what I did when we were on our little dinky.
I'm fantastic at piloting. They don't call me Jigless the Bold for no reason.
You don't believe it, Liz. We used to have, of course, it's trapped in the lake it was in, but we used to have a boat which could submerge underneath the water.
Has he ever heard of submarines in these waters?
Nope. That's newfound.
That would be a
gnomish
game
shit.
changer in these waters, I think.
Typically, boats that go underwater don't come back up.
Yeah.
That's a general rule of thumb.
And I piloted
they're-
that quite a bit.
There are creatures that go underwater, but not boats.
There's
So,
some gnomish
Air
contraption.
Air breathers could go underwater in these ships.
Yes.
It had a
And
certain
they
amount of
wouldn't die.
air it had a certain amount of air before you had to go back up, but you know,
Oh, so it's like a bell.
kind of.
Yeah, but you could pilot it around real fast. Like a normal ship. But
It was like twice as fast as, or even faster than the boat we were on that got us here.
Do you think you could have your cult people make one?
Doubtful.
that gnomish make. I don't even know how to begin to make one myself.
Well, there were a lot of gnomes down there. I'm not sure how they made those guns. That you
Sort of
crossbow gold gun.
Dude, I think we'd be pretty hard pressed to find someone who could help make such a thing. It is regrettable that we don't have it now, but there's no other way. It was quite a bit of land travel to get here.
Canuck even said that your black iron Colt is very good at crafting. It might be worthwhile, even if they're not any good as a crew in your city.
I don't think they can make us a submarine.
No, but I'm just saying those guns. Those didn't look like they had been found. They specifically said they had made them, didn't they?
Did they?
The quality didn't look that great, though. I mean, it was serviceable, but it didn't look like it was like master craftsman level.
Might be something to consider. Take a few of them with us, and one day they can make you those weapons.
We shall see. We shall see.
So are you guys gonna look to find someplace to offload the salt diamonds?
Yeah, probably spend the better part of the day that we have left probably shopping around, see if we can unload some of our stuff that we think we can actually get some money for.
All right, give me another persuasion.
Flat roll, or can I get a
Flat
system
roll. This is
going
just
on?
to see who you find.
23.
All right.
I find Rocco.
No,
No,
you
this
find
is
Gakko.
Jocko.
You find Sacco, the sock sales.
This is gonna be like a Dr. Ned and Dr. Zed situation from Borderlands, where it's like, no, we're totally different people, and then the actual other one does round the corner. Yeah, why are you being weird to my brother? And you're like, wait a minute. You're wandering around, trying to find a good place to offload the salt diamonds. When out of the side of a tavern, you hear, "Psst, psst, psst, you service dwarfs over there." And you see a kobold wearing like a big coat and carrying a big sack filled with you don't know what. Going, word in the overmarket is there's a couple of surface dwarves going around trying to offload some goods of some auspicious value. Name's Shady Sheb. If you need to get rid of some stuff, I might be able to help you out.
All right, do I know this guy?
Give me a
History?
give me a retroactive history. Retroactive history test. Shady
You do
Sheb.
know him, but by the name Lurking Larry.
Shady Sheb is a kobold that does tend to lurk around the overmarket. Doesn't have a stand and only really ever markets between people in like a rare or higher value good. Lots of rumors surround him because according to rumor, he's died at least 3 times.
Sheb.
That's why he's wearing the
Good
long
to
coat. It has another
see
kobold
you.
growing.
Last I had heard, I thought you had gotten stabbed.
Yeah, that's just a lie too. I don't have a good one right now. But do you want coins?
He's on the up and up.
I don't know. What we have is quite value. Do you have the money to spend?
Depends. What you got? What
Kind
you
of
show?
look at everybody, and I pull out one of the crystals and keep it in my hand to show them.
Ooh, bad. Not bad at all. Great hands. That could be worth something. I'll give you 400 gold.
2,000 gold. It is
No.
quite valuable.
Not a chance. 600. I can't do a coin more.
I just look at him, start slowly motioning to put the crystal back in my bag.
Okay, 800.
It slows down, but it's still going.
Cope just tried to call me. This guy's being funny. He goes, okay. 1,000 per. If you got normal, that is insane money. I'm offloading right now.
I'm trying to think of how I'm gonna word my haggling.
Mhm.
Jigless would interject. There are other gem dealers and merchants.
I was gonna say there is, but how about this? 1,200, and you offload an item of your own worth the equivalent exchange of the 2,000. So 1,200 plus an $800 or so value quality product that you have. I'm sure you have many if you're willing to spend.
Now you're just trying
he
to
says,
rob.
he says okay, and then gives you $800 American dollars.
You won't find a crystal this pure anywhere near here for pretty much ever.
Oh, I'm sure, but will you be able to find anyone willing to pay 1,000 gold pieces per? Just an upfront cost? That's like gang level money.
So this is a question like out of like haggling. We were told it's worth like 2,000. Is that like what we would buy it for? Or is it like this is actually like a good value?
That is the market value, but at the same time, it's a matter of do people have that kind of walking around money?
Fair.
It's one thing to sell it to a large like merchants guild in Corsiconia has got gold coins in the hundreds of thousands. You know?
Let me think for a second. 1,000 per, and if you have something we want to buy, you give us a discount.
1,000 per, and I'll tell you a little insider knowledge that you definitely didn't hear from old Shady Sheb on how you might be able to drum up more cash for yourself. How's that sound?
Well, you could just at this point you could just tell us, "Oh, go get a job after we complete the transaction," and that's technically correct.
How about ask him for a favor we can call in later from old Shady Sheb?
Okay, I see. All right, 1,000 per and one favor from old Shady Shep.
1,000 gold and one favor per.
Favor and
favors.
a half per.
Guys, a lot.
A favor and one discount with 1,000 each.
Give me a persuasion.
Yep.
Fine. 1,000, one favor, and one discount on one item per.
Gotcha. So yeah, unless anyone objects, I'll sell the 2 crystals for 2,000 because I think we only have the 2.
Because you used one for crafting.
Yeah.
And one got smashed.
All right, someone write down this guy owes us a favor we're not going to remember by next session.
Shady Sheb, you said?
Yep.
I gotta put it in my inventory. Shady Sheb favor.
Sheb.
That could be useful.
If someone could put the gold into our bag of holding sheet so I don't forget, because I'm typing something else, but I can always go back and add it if no one else wants to.
Now, this favor, it's not going to be anything that's going to get me killed, right? Like, I know you don't know now, but I'm just laying down the ground rules. If you're like, hey, Sheb, we want to break into, the Carver's home base. Why don't you lather yourself up in oil and light yourself on fire as a distraction? I'm not doing that.
I guarantee it might not be that.
All favors within reason. All favors within reason.
Right.
Also, we don't have plans to set anything on fire yet, so you're safe.
And if we were going to set something on fire to be a distraction, it would be a field.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, but here's your coin.
It works every time.
All right. Here's your coin. And remember, above everything else, you don't know me. And then he just disappears in the shadow.
Wait, we were gonna buy something maybe. Fuck you then. You just watch him wander off.
You're going to have to call in a favor, get him to show back up.
You might be able to find Shady Shep around.
Yeah.
It might be useful to have someone who's rolling around with thousands of gold pieces in their pocket to owe us a favor. I mean, was definitely rolling around with more gold than we had.
Mhm. Shady Shub.
All right. So how much gold does that bring us to?
2,000 gold from that, and then it was
2,000.
how much from?
2,000 from the selling the weapons to the crafters.
So
We need another
if we're going for a medium-sized vessel, we're about halfway there. If we're going for the small-sized vessel, we need another 2,000.
Look, I gotta impress upon you the importance. The bigger the vessel, the better. You're almost there to buying the bigger one in one day. I know y'all are probably in a hurry, but let's sit down, have a drink, and wait another day, and you can collect that much coin again. Get the big vessel.
Yes, I do have a plan of scoping out some potential hits tomorrow. I'm going to fall back on some of my old skills and see if I might be able to drum up some money that way.
And
Ivy,
when I
are
know,
you in?
of course.
Ivy, I know you've been itching to steal some stuff. Are you in?
I mean, she reaches her cloak, she pulls out a small bag. I mean, I don't think we can get much from these, and she dumps out, and there's like 15 knives.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking for finding something that's worth stealing. And I know you're kind of a klepto, but this is
Only particular things. As she's like using her foot, and she's just brushing the knives off the edge where they fall into the water.
All right. I gotta say, I'm sitting here at this conversation, and you're actively saying you're looking for a lead on something to steal. I'm gonna suggest it one more time, even though I know y'all don't want to hear this. But the guy who's an in-touch pirate here probably has a lead on something good to steal.
yeah, but that guy
I-
can suck a
grab-
dick, and we don't trust him.
Sure. Or you can go ahead and finish, Richard. I'll say what I'm
Oh,
gonna say.
that's all I was gonna say.
Okay. I'll grab Giblus by the shoulder, and I said, I do not want to help that guy in any way, shape, or form. Grabbing him, of course, in the suit.
Mhm.
He's
All right.
a pirate. He's a scoundrel. Anything that he wants us to steal, I'm not going to be entirely comfortable helping him with.
Also, he sold
all
us,
right.
and I take exception.
If you'll
to
put
that.
me back down, I'll let you and your other friends discuss how in a land you don't know you're going to steal from the people you don't know, as opposed to organizing it through the pirate. Never mind. I'll just drink my drink. Who am I?
That's why you scope things out first. Have you ever stolen anything?
Jigless? Call it piracy here.
Is it stealing when I make them want to give it to me?
Giblus, tell me, what's the most amount of gold you've ever made down here?
It's a two-sided question. How much gold have I made down here, or how much gold have I had on me at one time?
How much gold have you had on you at one time?
The most I ever had was about the equivalent of 50,000 gold pieces.
I don't.
You know how long I had that?
How long?
2 amazing nights, and then for part of a really bad day.
Giblus, I'm going to tell you.
Easy come, easy go.
That's bullshit. And I know it, and you know it.
Hey, you guys might get all this money, and tomorrow y'all might get waylaid by a group and they take it all from you.
I doubt this will happen. Anyways, I'm willing to bet that we've made more gold today than you've had in your pockets your entire time here, Giblus. In a friendly way.
If I had more than 11 gold pieces and a way to prove that, I would wager against you.
And there's the question.
So how about you let us figure out the money making?
There's the question
Okay.
of if or even boats for sale, or if we'll have to commission the construction of one.
Do I know that, Gamba?
Given the destruction rate of some of these ships in the Sunless Sea, they're usually in the process of being built. So you might be able to get a beat up one from someone who's managed to do the miraculous thing of retiring. If not, the crafters probably have one getting close to being done. You might have to hang around for like a week or something for them to finish up, but
Yeah. So he'd share that. Or, if you're willing to up pay, you may be able to get somebody else who's not busy right now to sell you their perfectly good ship and they can make a profit off of it.
Well, let's try not to die for the next couple days and get the money we need and take it from there, I suppose.
Yeah, there's got to be something else to do around here to make us this money without.
Yeah, also, I gotta say,
Well,
Jigless, why are you so keen on getting us to work with that captain?
I have a feeling he has something that's very valuable because he more or less said that he's looking for a group and he doesn't put many hooks in the water.
Then
Thank you,
why the
Dutch
fuck
Mudra.
didn't he, work with us before? We offered to do pretty much the same.
We
Why
offered
would
to
you have trusted him?
do what we wanted.
Well, we definitely don't
Look,
trust
look,
him
look.
now after he sold us.
I'm afraid you don't understand the way things work down here.
Whether they
It's
work down here or not
business.
that way or not, that is a
It's
shitty way to start a
business.
business transaction.
No, he finished a business transaction. If you approach him again, you will be starting a second business transaction.
Gotta say,
Transaction.
I don't plan on transacting anything with him other than killing him someday.
Yeah, I was going to say the only transaction I want to have with this guy is the transaction of putting my axe into his skull.
We tried working with him after he captured us. We were reasonably accommodating for that, and then
But
he
you had
sold
nothing
us.
to offer him.
We offered to do what he were talking about, what he needs us for.
But what
If
if
he
you had
wanted
died?
us to do a task, he had his chance, okay?
We
Instead,
offered to
took all
do a
our
task
shit
for him for our
and-
freedom. That's
and
all we asked
sold
for.
us, Giblets.
I killed a whale for him.
You did
Yeah.
kill well for him, and then he had a whale.
And then he sold
And
us.
then he sold y'all.
Yeah.
So,
Nothing
He
about
won.
this makes us want to work with the fucking bastard.
that's on y'all.
And then
It
on top
was
of everything
Weeg.
else, he stole from us. So
Weeg said,
I just do like a fuck off motion.
Weeg said that he had some things. If you want to head back down there to the Clippers,
I
Yeah, that'll
imagine
probably
at
be our
this
best.
point it's getting later in the day too.
Yeah.
We're probably going to retire for tonight and pick up
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Mhm.
And see if we can't pick up some odd jobs from the Clippers or the other factions.
I think
around.
I had a feeling tomorrow it was going to be like a split the party in two situation, so we can both take different ideas and run with them.
Mhm.
I'm guessing that jobs from the other ones aren't going to net us that much gold that we've been making in the first day, but I don't know.
I'm going to start looking for either a good way to steal from somebody or some kind of heist of some kind. Because, like I said, Fergus is going to start falling back on his old tricks. And that's what he knows from his youth, so that's what he's going to go with. And he'll probably express that to the group, so anyone who wants to join him on help with that, he's not going to turn away help, so.
I will go around looking for people who need some jobs done.
Sorry, Fergus, what did you say you were going to do?
I'm going to look for something to, like, either steal or some kind of heist I can do in this town.
I'm not the most
Whether I
stealthy,
do it
so-
right away or not, but I'm going to try to keep my ears and eyes open to see if there's anything that might present itself tomorrow.
Oh, I'll tag along. I'll see if I could help.
We're not going to do any B&E
Steam
tomorrow. We're just going to get the lay of the land as it is.
That sounds exciting. Let's try that. Yeah, I'll tag along with you.
definitely run the names or the businesses by me. I'll tell you if I know anything about them or who they're connected to, so you don't jump into a giant shit show.
Are you sure you don't want us to tell us to go work for the pirate captain again?
Yeah, I mean, you've been pretty
I would only
insistent on
say it
that.
one more time, and I've not said it again. That was the last time, my friends.
Probably a good leaving point as we return back to sleep for the night.
Yep. With the chest with the black iron finger in
Mhm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I imagine
I
it's
will-
gnawing away at Taskell a little bit.
I go away at Freya. She wants to know what this thing does. I know it's told her.
Yeah, but that's probably better to start off next week with.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say before we
Power
end and I
glove.
stop the recording, I want to be on the record for saying that I'm going to be having the money split between the bag of holding and my hat of holding.
Mhm.
And over the course of today and the next day, I'm going to have 2 chests with my arcane lock spell on them, so only I can open them. So just to kind of split the reserves in case one of them gets jacked or something for some reason or another.
Yes, cause see, that's the danger. Is once you get a lot of money, now you're a target.
Especially if you act like you have money.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So I know we leveled up because there's no way we didn't get at least
Yes.
500 experience.
Oh
but
yeah,
I'm
no,
curious
you
to see
guys
what we
got 800 experience points.
Between
That's how
avoiding getting
Jiggles
our
lost
fucking
50,000 gold pieces.
So yes, you guys definitely level up.
whew.
So minimum half, so I get 4 hit points.
Good session, everybody. Good session. A little knocking heads at the beginning, but then mostly role play.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of getting a feel for Dinport now, I hope.
I love that you're bringing a little bit of 40k into the game.
I mean, it's basically a hive city. I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I wanted to have someone who worships a cult who worships constructs, and I'm like, yeah, but how would they like? There's no way to do this without being a little mechanicus. Okay.
But hey, I convinced them not to hammer nails into other people, just themselves.
No. Not hammer nails into you guys specifically. You never said anything about other people.
Well, we're gonna have a discussion about that.
Mhm. Consensual nailing. I see.
I am now an inquisitive rogue rather than a mastermind rogue.